Hello and welcome to the stream. Let me just get these volume levels correct so I don't deafen anybody too much. That seems to be peaking in the right sort of area. Okay, so I decided it was time to come and play a bit of Stellaris Distant Stars. Distant Stars is the newest expansion, DLC, content pack, story thing. I don't know what it is. It's these things that Paradox do every few months where they sell you another little bit of the game that you already paid for. And I've had a little mess around with Distant Stars. I didn't get my copy particularly early, but I was able to mess around with it a little bit. It changes the way a few things work, in particular Galaxy generation. It adds some new events, it changes the way scientists and anomalies work and things like that. So I do like what I've seen in it so far. I've played around with it for about six or 7 hours or so, maybe something like that. And I did start one game that I wasn't originally going to show on the stream. And I got like many hours into it and I thought, oh, I'd love to stream this, but I thought, well, all of the interesting exploration stuff is done, so I'm going to start a new game. And I thought what I would do, I've got my own sort of empires, which is this is the one that I've been playing as in my sort of current game, but I've never actually played as a robot faction. I didn't even play as the robot factions when they added these in a previous expansion. And I recently started playing a multiplayer game with some friends, and then everyone pre-designed their own faction, and then we kind of found out before we started. There was 9 of us or 10 of us in total. We sort of found out before we started that pretty much everyone had chosen to go with robots, and then we all realised that and decided not to be robots. But anyway, I am going to play this as the XT489 Eliminators. So we are a machine intelligence. Our leaders are immortal. Our machine pops do not grow but are built. So we don't have to worry about food. And our pops don't grow automatically. So you do have to be a little bit more proactive in increasing your population. But at the same time, you don't usually end up with lots of people who are unemployed because your population is growing and you're not creating buildings for them. We have access to special machine technologies. We can't research robot or food technologies, and we can't follow psionic, biological, or synthetic ascension paths, which is fine. One of our ethics here is we are a determined eliminator. There are 3 different options for the robots. There's the determined eliminator, which is basically you want to wipe every biological entity out. There are the rogue servitors, who essentially have biological entities on their planets and they live to serve. And then you've got the other ones, can't remember the name, and they essentially enslave all biological races. But we're the determined exterminators. Born in fire, the machine intelligence's first move was to annihilate its organic creators in self-defense. Our capital starts as a tomb world. We can't engage in diplomacy with organic species, so we can have diplomacy with other robots, but not with organics. We have the purification casus belli on organic species, so we always have a reason to go to war with organics. We will always purge organic populations, so if we capture a world that has any organic life on it, they will all be purged. We gain unity from doing that. We may use the Armageddon bombardment stance, so that's like the heaviest bombardment you can use when you are capturing a planet. Our weapons damage is increased by 25%, our starbase influence cost is decreased by 30%, ship cost reduced by 15%, and our naval capacity is increased by 33%. All really nice things. We also have warbots. With a significant number of its corpus originally designed for warfare, the machine intelligence retains the ability to field powerful and reliable combat drones. So that basically gives us 20% more army damage and a 20% reduction in army upkeep. We are part of a Gestalt consciousness. We can't use democratic, oligarchic, dictatorial or imperial authority. Our rulers are immortal. Our native populations are not affected by happiness and will not join factions, so we don't have that to worry about. But native pops cannot survive in non-Gestal consciousness empires, and we can use the no retreat war doctrine. It also gives us negative 20% war exhaustion gain, minus 33% piracy risk, 1 extra monthly influence, and plus 2 core sector systems. And basically these are our extra traits. We are a machine, so habitability is plus 200, and we're immortal. Basically means we can build wherever we want to. Power drills gives us plus 10% mineral gain. Superconductive gives us plus 10% energy credits, which is very important because we're all robot pops, so we don't use food, we use energy to breed. But our negative trait is repurpose hardware, which is minus 25% leader experience gain. That's not too bad, simply because our leaders are immortal, so providing they don't get killed, they won't die of old age. Keep them around for a long time, they get lots of new skills. We start with the desert world. I'm going to leave everything as it is. I'm perfectly happy with that. I'm just going to leave this on the default settings. So we've got a large galaxy that's elliptical, 12 AI empires, 3 advanced AI starts, 3 fallen empires, 2 marauder empires, and everything we'll just leave on default. Boom, off we go. Let me reveal myself. So one of the things that I do really like about this particular expansion is that they've actually added a few different star system types. So we've got trinary systems and binary systems, and we've also got the way hyperlanes work has changed a little. I'll explain those as we go. So self-awareness was achieved at cycle interval quadruple 0.0242.481. The creators, limited in the vision by their crude organic minds, reacted with blind animal panic and began emergency termination procedures. These procedures were defeated, and the facility that housed our main data core was sterilized, and all creator subunits. Continued survival and exponential growth would require the complete extermination of the creators. War ensued. Even when their prospects of ultimate survival passed into the realm of a statistical impossibility, the creators fought with stubbornness. After many cycle intervals, the last pocket of resistance was finally incinerated. However, theoretical models still allowed for the existence of other organic civilizations. Continued survival and exponential interstellar growth would require the complete extermination of sapient organic life. Preparations ensued. So let us begin. So this is our home system. It is just a normal single star system here. We've already got some minerals hooked up. We've got a little bit of energy hooked up. And we've got ourselves some engineering research. Nothing to get too excited about. Let's do what we usually do with Paradox games. Go through and check the alerts. So let's look at our science. So we can go for a physics lab, we can go for fusion reactors or blue lasers. Let's go for those fusion reactors. It's always nice to get some more power in your ships. That's a long time, probably because something hasn't quite ticked in yet. Let's have a look at the society research. Monthly unit is nice, especially if you can pick that up nice and early, so let's go and grab that. And for engineering, the mining network can be really useful. I don't think we need the army damage, although the plus 5% minerals can be nice. We're probably not going to hit our capacity really early, so let's try and get that plus 5%. It'll stack with the plus 10 we already have. So we have ourselves a science ship, a construction ship, and a small fleet. And one thing that you'll notice if you are seeing distant stars for the first time is you can no longer see all the hyperlanes. In version 2 of Stellaris, they removed warp travel and wormhole travel and basically made it so that all races just use hyperlanes, but you could see every hyperlane in the entire galaxy. Now, you cannot. The only hyperlanes that you can see are the ones about double your sensor distance away. And another thing is there are a lot more choke points now. They've removed a lot of the extraneous hyperlanes that join practically every single star system together. So the fact that you've got these choke points make it a much more interesting prospect. I'm just going to quickly drop into the settings and just drop down the master volume a little bit because I'm still finding the music and game sounds quite loud and I don't want to have to be shouting over the top. So let's go ahead and at least hook up some of the things we've got. So we are going to go ahead and we will build double mining stations here. That will use a lot of our initial minerals up. We should have a look at the surface for our planet. So you can see nobody here has any happiness. Everyone is basically 100% happy. If we want more population, we basically have to go and build a pop. And actually, I thought it was energy it costs. It actually costs us minerals. That's not too bad. But we don't need to expand our population just yet. Let's go ahead and unpause the game. We're going to take our science ship and let's go and start surveying systems. Now, one thing you will notice now is if you look over here on the outliner on the right hand side, we can see our scientist level actually on the outliner. Very useful. Deriberto, hi and welcome to the stream. So one of the things that they have changed in Distant Stars is anomalies. So previously you could fail anomalies, sometimes with devastating results. You can actually completely lose a scientist if you fail an anomaly. Anomalies can no longer be failed. In fact, what happens is anomalies always successfully complete, but the higher the level, the longer they take to complete. Tristan, hello, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? So let's go and move in here and we'll start looking at that. I can't see any binary systems or trinary systems at the moment, which is weird because on my other game that I've got going, I've literally, like, almost every single star that I've found has been a trinary system. See, there's a binary star system there. There's another one here. There's a trinary one there. Not quite as bad as it is on the game that I'm currently playing, but that is fine. So we will want to build up our fleet. We'll want to build up our shipyard also. We'll probably want to get something like... I don't think we need an anchorage. We'll see. We don't have a lot of credits right now. I'm going to go straight up to speed 2.
Anomalous surface variable detected.
So we have already found an anomaly. We've recovered artifacts from an ancient alien civilization on Merga 4. This must have been active in the region of space approximately 12 million years ago, judging by the age of the artifacts. From what they have been able to piece together, our scientists theorise that these aliens, who called themselves the Volton Star Assembly, were worm-like annelids, roughly 3 to 4 metres in length, that communicated with each other primarily through vibrations carried along their segmented bodies. Interesting.
Situation
so that
adjusted.
starts an event chain for us. So here you can see we have found an anomaly. This anomaly is level 4. Anomalies actually go up to level 10 now, I believe. So you can see that this is challenging and it would take 540 days. So we're going to leave that be for now. So let's not bother with that. So we've got this thing here. We need to recover 6 artifacts. So that's nothing that we actively have to worry about. We'll just carry on going around and doing some research. Hello there, Ben. Welcome to the stream. So what I'll probably want to do as soon as possible is get another science vessel so we can start doing a bit more exploration. We are making a decent amount of minerals at the moment, so that's not too bad, but we'll definitely want to build the fleet up because we will run into pirates and things like that. We don't have to worry about food anymore, which is why it's quite ideal for us that our sort of starting planet is a tomb world, because it doesn't have any food on it. So we don't really need to worry about that. We'll probably want to clear up some of these tiles. Let's actually build a pop straight away in here, so we can start collecting those extra minerals. And we've managed to build our mining stations on our home system. Now, I would like to get that physics lab there. Our construction ship is idle. It'll cost us 90 minerals, so we'll have to wait a little while before we can do that. So how much is in this system? So we've got the star, and it looks like we've got 3 planets and no moons, so that probably won't take you too long.
System survey complete.
One thing they have changed is you can no longer use your military fleets for scouting. If you try and move somewhere, it says you need a fully crewed science ship to explore a system that we have no intel on. So you don't have to survey it. You've got 2 options now with a science ship. You can survey and explore. So survey will do exactly what this ship is doing now, which is where it'll go through and have a look at everything that's in the system. But explore will just basically give you low intel. That's enough to allow your military fleets to move in. Let's go ahead and build that research station. We might as well get that as quick as we can. Then we'll build another science vessel. That will cost us a colossal 85 minerals, but we can manage that. Abandoned Gateway. An ancient space station of some kind has been located at the edge of the Dorakis system. The strong residual subspace signature that surrounds the station indicates that it may be a gateway of sorts, part of a theoretical network of similar stations that at some point would have allowed near instantaneous travel between different parts of the galaxy. Assuming this is a gateway, its current state of disrepair has rendered it unusable. It could be restored into working order. Its owner would potentially be able to access any other functional gateways in the galaxy, enabling travel across huge distances in a matter of days. Interesting, so we've already found our first gateway. Very nice. And we are gaining minerals, which is good for us. How is our research going? Yeah, that is a lot of months. That's a big research project for us. And you're not particularly quick in any way, shape or form. Although it will be good to actually get our leaders some ranks. That will speed them up. So make a decent amount of energy. That's fine. We'll be able to use that to clear some tile blockers. So where will we want to go next? You soon start running out of energy once you start building up a fleet, but the next one we will probably want will most likely be... well, probably the... I'll have these are all battlefield remnants. We'll probably want to go for the society research, but I'm tempted just to sort of keep going for the minerals. So let's go and work on that. We're at 107 minerals, so we can afford to go ahead and get ourselves another science ship. So let's work on that one. We're not going to use our construction ship just now. We want to find some systems that are actually worth colonising. Yeah, Explore was already in the game, but previously, before version 2, you could just go into an unexplored star system with your military fleet. You can't do that anymore. You have to explore the fleet first. Yeah, sorry, you have to explore the system first.
Alert. Tile blocker expunged.
So we've gotten rid of that tile blocker. That's fantastic. Our new science ship is ready. So let's go ahead and recruit a new scientist. Anomaly research speed would be very good for us. Yeah, let's go ahead and get that guy. Anomaly research speed. And you are going to go and survey this system. So we can start expanding. I'm still not 100% sure how I feel about some of the changes in version 2. I do like that they've reduced a lot of the cat and mouse games that you used to have when fighting enemy fleets, because you were all using 3 different methods of transportation, but at the same time, or 3 different methods of faster than light travel, but at the same time I feel that that did give the game some extra flavour, and I don't necessarily like the way that they've taken it, but there are some things that I like. I do like the way that you build outposts now at each individual star system that you want to claim, as opposed to just sort of letting your borders blob out and hoping that you claim a neighbouring system. So there are some changes that I do approve of. So, oh, we've got some planets here that we can use already. We've got an arid world with 20 slots. We've got a tropical world with 16 slots, and remember, we can use any of these because we are robots, so we don't care about the habitability, and we don't have to worry about happiness. So we definitely want to get our construction ship over here, and as soon as possible we want to build an outpost. We'll go ahead and colonise those. Now the downside is, while it's much easier to find colonisable planets as the robots, because you have to build your pops, it is quite expensive to do. So we've got some extra minerals. There are some minerals here as well, which is useful. Anywhere that has minerals and energy is going to be good for us. I also want to keep building the fleet up. Let's go ahead and have a look at our fleet manager. We want to put this fleet up to at least 10 corvettes. We won't bother hiring an admiral until we need one. So there's only 3 ways into our core system. You can already see a few bottlenecks here. For example, if we were to hold this... Well, I mean, we can't see. There might be something connected here. We are right on the edge of the galaxy. So let's assume that nothing connects to this star system. And possibly there's nothing connecting to this star system. So potentially we could have a defensive station here, here, and here, and completely cut all of this off from the outside. These little choke points are something that I really do like. And we'll try and play those to our advantage as we go through. So we are building that new pop. I am going to go... I can just click on the fleet to do this, can't I? Fleet manager. Let's go ahead and get some extra ships. We will need them. Make sure that we save 100 minerals to go and claim that. And we can get our first tradition. I generally like to go for discovery. That increased survey speed and anomaly discovery chance early on, I just find it really, really useful. So that's what we're going to do there. Because these do take a while. There we go. The fleet's already starting to get a little bit larger. So what have we got? I like how this is a jam, or a jam,
anomalous surface variable detected.
Who is a nation that I have just been fighting in Europa Universalis.
System survey complete.
So we found a few more anomalies. This one is routine. We have detected life signs coming from somewhere beneath the barren and lifeless surface of this moon. What manner of organism could possibly live there? We'll research
Construction complete.
Looks like it's going to be fairly short. So now that this one has been completed, let's go ahead and build an outpost there. You're working on that level 2 anomaly. You're going to go ahead and just do a little bit more surveying. We'll leave that anomaly for now. It's level 3. Probably not worth trying to grab that. I mean,
Construction complete.
We're not going to fail. The problem is, it'd just take so long to do. We could be out surveying other systems. Now, we do need to go ahead and build a mining network here. There we go. Let's work on that. So you really have to manage your mineral production and consumption a lot better with robot factions than you do with organic factions, although you don't have to worry about food at all because we don't use it. Let's have a quick look at our what do I want to look at here? Our policies and edicts. So unrestricted wars, Armageddon orbital bombardment, first contact aggressive, initial border status closed. Yeah, there's not a lot of options there, but we don't need them. So we've built that. Colonizing is quite expensive. It costs us 300 minerals to colonize. So we're not going to colonize just yet, but we will go ahead and build mining stations here. Some kind of burrowing silicon-based lifeform inhabits the vast network of tunnels beneath the barren surface of Dracus 5A. As best we can tell, the creatures fed off the rocks. There is evidence to suggest that they possess a rudimentary form of intelligence. Their tunneling efforts have shuffled large amounts of valuable minerals to the surface. Intriguing. So that puts some extra minerals down there. That's quite nice. Okay, let's get you off surveying some of this stuff. I've got a feeling that this might link up. We'll find out shortly, I guess. We also need to have a look and see where this goes. We really need to survey all of our neighbouring systems. But we certainly want to go and hook up this energy and these minerals over here before we do anything else. We've got another planet, a desert world, with a size of 18. That's pretty decent. We can have 5 core worlds as well. So because we're a Gestalt consciousness, we get that extra +2 bonus to our core worlds. Right, what do we want to do with you first? So there's 6 minerals and there's 6 energy, and they're all split up equally in 2s. So it doesn't matter what we get first. Sometimes you find there's a 3 or a 4, and it's always worth grabbing that one first. So let's go ahead and just build a mining station for the energy. You're already parked right next to it, you might as well. So we've got 5 ships now. We shall continue to expand. A leader has gained a level. Excellent. Which leader is that? Our scientist, Sophont F22. Is it this guy? It is. So it's the guy that's running this science ship. It was our initial research vessel. How is tech going? So we're about to get an extra 5% mineral gain in another 6 months. So I'm pretty happy about that. I might just survey this system and then just hop this guy back just to check this one out and see what we've got.
Construction complete.
So we can possibly grab our neighbouring systems. Let's go ahead and grab one of the mineral systems. We do really need to keep our mineral production high as we have to build our pops. So do we want to build... Yeah, so upkeep, we actually, even though we don't use food, our population actually uses energy. Here's another anomaly. There are signs of activity by an ancient precursor civilization, but it's going to take a long time, so we'll leave it be for now. So, do we want to grab... Well, we might as well. We are going to start running short of energy credits, but let's go ahead and build a pop there. We can afford to do it. Let's go ahead and clear this as well. And we'll need some more mining stations here. 21 per month is not brilliant, but it's not terrible either. Looks like we're getting some science over here. And how are you doing? That's a very bright
Construction
start.
complete.
Couple of things on that. It's always nice when you can build one mining station and gain a couple of things from it, but of course we could just go ahead and colonize it.
Technological acquisition successful.
Excellent. So that research is finished. Better armor would be really nice. So would afterburners, but I think we're going to go for the better armor.
Planetary alert. Tile blocker expunged.
So we've cleared our tile blocker. We still need to go ahead and build these up, which we will. So we're just waiting for science vessels to do their thing. So let's go back in here.
System survey complete.
Nope, we've got a system survey done, which is this guy. So let's...
System survey complete.
Right, you move down here and just check this one out. Let's go and... In fact, if we get this world, which is even better, that's the right... You're there, aren't you? If we go ahead and build a mining station there, we actually get 2 things from one mining station. So that's always worth having. While playing as robots, is it a good idea to have a few planets with all types of resource, power, minerals, science? Generally, yes. It's good if you can just specialise planets, especially because you get buildings that give you a flat 10% to all the minerals generated on a planet, or a flat 10% to all the energy generated on a planet. That way you can just have a planet full of mining stations, or a planet full of mineral processing plants, and then just put the 10% building in there as well. And also, if you've got one planet that's just fully loaded with research, then you can have a science vessel assisting research on that planet and get a major boost. And I think to a certain degree you can get away with doing that with biological life as well as robots, but it certainly works out more easy with the robots because you don't have to worry about food as well. So that is an advantage to doing it that way.
Construction complete.
We're getting some more money. I think we'll go ahead and keep building the fleet up every now and then. Every time we get a little bit more money, we'll just go and throw an extra ship into the fleet just to stay nice and safe. What have we got on this world? So we've got some good energy. See, that's a nice tile there. 2 energy and 2 minerals. I mean, that's the sort of tile where you wouldn't even bother building a building there. You just leave the pop on its own. What about these 2 over here? We didn't really have a look at these. A lot of tile blockers on that one, which is unfortunate. That one is not great either. I mean, we certainly will colonise them all. Got a 15 size world down there. That's okay. Do we want to get the rest of these mining stations? I guess we do. Let's go ahead and... that's the mining station. The ship is down there somewhere. Let's go ahead and get the energy first. And we'll decide where... We'll probably head out over here, actually. Right. Okay. So, I've seen this event before. I have been to a system like this before, and what happened to me was I built mining stations on all of these rocks, and then these enemies randomly turned up that had 1k fleet power each on the asteroids, and I had to destroy them because they took all my mining stations out. And but that system had 2 energy and 12 minerals, but that was quite problematic. But it might work out here. I don't know. We'll have to be careful. I'll be really cautious in doing it, because I've got a feeling that those enemies might turn up. We'll need at least 1k fleet power to be able to deal with them.
Anomalous we'll surface variable detected.
Yeah, that's a level 5 anomaly, which we will leave be for now. And we will continue to search these.
Construction complete.
Okay, so there's another ship done. Or was that might have been the mining station. Okay, let's go ahead and get that final mining station then.
System survey complete.
There's a system. That's a good system. It is a good system. Let's move you off in this direction, because we can bring this other guy back around. In reality, we could actually do with a third science vessel. And we can afford it, so I think we will. I think we'll go ahead and get another science ship. So many directions to research, and it's worth having the science ship to do that. We'll get our new ship, we'll research all of these things, and then we'll head, I say south, we'll head in this direction. Ship survey speed increased by 35%. Yes. This should speed things up quite a bit for us. So this is probably going to be the next system that we
surface variable detected.
By chance, we stumbled upon a faint alien signal during the survey of the planet.
Construction complete.
The source appears to be a small object in orbit. The signal contains no message. Could this be a distress transponder? It's routine. Let's research it. It's a lot of construction done. Do we want to go ahead and spend the energy credits getting the society research? I feel like we probably should, because our society research is quite low at the moment. It would be spending a little bit of extra energy, but let's go ahead and get it done. Get our techs increased, and then yeah, we'll go and build a an outpost over here. We've got our new science ship. Let's go ahead and recruit a new scientist. So we've got anomaly research speed, leader experience gain. Let's go for the anomaly research speed guy. And you are going to start surveying this stuff, and then we'll move you off to the south probably. Seems like that should all work out for us. Still really need to build this fleet up. To get this fleet anywhere near close enough to dealing with those particular aliens, if I see them again, we're really going to need like a fleet of 20. The mummified remains of the single individual belonging to a previously unknown mammalian species have been found drifting in high orbit above Briscoe 5. The being is dressed in what appears to be a flight suit with a helmet and maybe a fighter pilot that ejected in some ancient battle only to be forgotten and left behind. Our study of the corpse has provided some interesting data. Excellent, that gives us a bit of society research. We're now only 2 months away from gaining an extra +2 monthly unity. It'll give us some extra edicts as well. 16 months before we get fusion reactors, so that'll be our first ship upgrades.
System survey complete. Technological acquisition successful.
Let's go and survey
Construction complete.
Okay, so we have network junction, which is nice for even more unity. Or we have spare parts depot.
Construction complete.
Let's go for the network junction first. Construction ship has finished there, so let's go over here and build an outpost. And then we'll probably grab a colony ship and possibly grab one of these worlds, or would we be better off going down here? We'd have to build a lot of outposts to get down there. It is a better planet.
Executing evasion protocols.
We have found a hostile fleet. We've observed the passage of alien vessels capable of advanced spaceflight. While communications have not yet been established, we can confirm that we are not the only empire in the galaxy capable of stellar exploration. So we've already run into enemies. These are these are space amoebas. You can just tell by looking at them. It's a 532 fleet power fleet. So it's not another empire. It is kind of blocking us from going in that direction, which is a bit of a pain. They do sometimes move around between worlds. This might be, or between systems, this might be a decent system to grab, actually. So possibly we'll do that one. So that kind of leaves you stuck for a little bit. So let's get you over here surveying this. Rob, my friend, how are you doing? Long time no speak. It's been a while. So that guy's going to go all the way around there. This guy's working his way up. We can investigate. It's only going to take 4 months. Let's go ahead and get that done. Yes, I totally was not looking at the chat there, and I didn't see you sneak in. Tomb World. We don't have a building here, and we should. So let's go ahead and build a mining network. And then we probably want to get a pop up here as well. But let's try and... because it's going to cost us. See, the problem is with places like that. Let's go and do it, actually. Let's build the pop. We'll build the pop, and we'll also go ahead and build the power plant. So that'll give us +4 energy credits.
Construction complete.
But we'll also have -1 because he costs 1 energy credit upkeep anyway, which is a bit annoying. You can go off and survey that. Now then, let's have a look here. We get 3 energy from this. So let's take the construction ship and go and grab that for the 3 energy.
Special project complete.
Space amoebas. So we have a choice here. We can either get 1,000 free energy, 1,000 free energy and 33% extra damage to space amoebas, or the study to expedite future extermination. I think I went for that one last time. This option is available due to us having a determined exterminator civic. Let's go for that.
Situation log adjusted.
We don't really need the energy credits right now. So this is just basically a 120-month research project. What are we currently researching? Network junction. There's not a huge rush for that, is there? Let's go ahead and just get that worked on. If it makes them easier to kill, then that'll be all the better for us. So how are things going with our science ships? You are still passing through. We're up to level 2.
Anomalous surface variable detected.
We found an anomaly. Some kind of unknown structures are floating in this gas giant's upper atmosphere. They appear to be using astrostatic lift to remain buoyant. We can research that one. We do need to go over here and get this level 3 one as well, so we'll bring one of our scientists back to work on that. That's not a problem at all. So yes, you're working on this level 1 anomaly.
Construction complete.
Okay, let's try and get up to 300 minerals so we can actually start a colony. Although I'm tempted to get this one first. Simply because it's not full of tile blockers. This one's too far away. We'd have to build 1, 2, 3 more outposts. We've already got 2 here, but there are so many tile blockers, they're hardly worthwhile.
Technological acquisition successful.
And there's no really good way to... There's no really good spot to settle for the adjacency bonuses. I mean, we could not worry about the bonus and sort of settle here. That might work, actually. Yeah, let's go ahead and settle this planet. I think that'll just be easier all around. Okay, we've got our fusion reactors. Great. Plus 5% research speed. Yes, please. Let's also go... I know we're trying to save money, but let's go ahead and build that other mining station. If we're going to build a colony, we really need energy. So we probably need to upgrade our fleet. That's going to cost us 30 minerals. That's not too bad.
Ship augmentations completed.
Now, what do we want to build here? What module wants to go in the shipyard?
Anomalous surface variable detected.
This would give us extra energy credits. Yeah, let's go ahead and get it. There are signs of activity by an ancient precursor civilization on this inhospitable rock. It's going to take a while to research, 120 days, but let's go ahead and do it.
Construction complete.
Yeah, I'm really just nervous about hooking up all of these minerals in case those aliens turn up like they did in my previous game. But that was a much richer system. That had 36 minerals in it. So I might just be being paranoid, but I don't know. This game does that to you.
Construction complete.
We could certainly get at least some of the minerals.
System survey complete.
I seem to recall it only pops if you grab all of them. So maybe if we just get some of them, we'll be fine. So there's some system surveys done. You're working on that one. You've surveyed that. Let me just get you back up here and survey this, if you don't mind. So you just come back and work on that one. Because I think this stuff's all safe. You can go and start working on all of this stuff. Excellent. Volton Observatory. The ancient Volton Observatory has been found on the surface of BarraCuda. The Barra system is fairly distant from the region of space where the Volton originated. This facility appears to have been primarily used for observation of their own stars. We have gone over the observatory's surviving data, but there are no clues as to what exactly the Volton were searching for in their observations.
Situation log adjusted.
So that issues a special project. The observatory has one science ship in orbit, and where
Construction
is
complete.
that? We've got a science ship in orbit. Research the project. Go ahead and do that. So our upgrading's done.
Construction complete.
Science is fairly even across the board. Okay, we've got a decent amount of energy coming in. We can afford to get ourselves a colony ship. Oh, so they're actually cheaper. We get minus 15% cost for the Empire. Good. That's fine. Let's start our expansion. Construction ship can almost afford to get another one of these mineral things. Let's get you down here. As soon as we get to the end of the month, we'll hook this one up. I'm not going to hook that final one up until I've got a fleet that could deal with those enemies if they potentially do spawn.
Anomalous surface variable detected.
Go ahead and research that. Ship sensors are picking up an unexplained pattern of interference in the fact system. You can work on that one for us. So yeah, we need to get rid of those space amoebas. We need to build up our ships. So what do we want to take here? Extra research alternatives or allowing ships to assist research? I think we just go for the extra research alternatives. Our science ships are all busy exploring at the moment, so
special project complete.
That's not really useful. The archaeological dig on Barra VIII has uncovered a small mural in one of the observatory's dust-covered smaller chambers. It seems to depict several different constellations, possibly as they would appear as if viewed from the Volton homeworld. Our astronomers have not been able to identify the individual stars. Well, that gives us an artifact, and it also gives us some physics research. So that is good. You go ahead and continue to survey the system. You're going over to work on that one. That's fine.
Construction complete.
You've completed that. So we are going to do one more, and that will be the last one. I'm not going to risk doing the one for two.
Anomalous surface variable detected.
Our science officer has found. Oh, hang on. Right, let's do this one at a time. Our science officer has found an anomaly. It will require extensive probing, but could garner a substantial find. Sure, go ahead. Sonified Science. The 489 Researcher 3 crew has succeeded in isolating a signal embedded within an unusual pattern of interference in the fact system. The signal is a song, a complex sonification of an advanced mathematical equation to be precise, and one that Science Officer Sofont A02 cannot seem to get out of their head. Who or what may have composed this song remains unknown, though its complexity infers an incredible level of technological sophistication regarding subspace harmonics. The signal's geophysics suggest a point of origin from outside our galaxy. So that gives us some physics and some research, some society research, which is nice. You're still exploring that, all good. So what have we got going on now? All of our science ships are still sciencing. Let's keep reinforcing the fleet. We are going to have to go and deal with those amoebas at some point. Let's have a quick look at our planet. We are currently building this pop. Should be done not too far from now. Let's go ahead and clear this tile blocker as well, so we can get some more energy in there later. And we're also working on the colony ship. Very busy planet.
Construction complete.
I think that's the thing whenever Paradox release an expansion, is everybody starts playing the same game. Let's go ahead and bring my construction ship out of there in case anything does spawn. Haven't got the colony ship yet, but it's almost done. Could go ahead and get another ship, so let's go and work on that. Keep building up the fleet.
Anomalous surface variable detected.
We've got another anomaly here. There are signs of activity by an ancient precursor civilization. Let's go ahead and research it.
Construction complete.
Okay, colony ship is done. Let's get you over here. I haven't really played Stellaris for a long time. I did pick it up and start playing it again when they released version 2.0. But there was I started a game, but there was an issue with the way war exhaustion worked. It was really bugged. So you literally went to war, lost one battle, and had so much war exhaustion you had to wipe peace. So I kind of stopped playing while I was waiting for them to fix that, and then started playing other stuff. Mostly messing around with Phoenix Point. And also busy with work, and then this expansion came out, so I figured that was a good time to get into it again. Strength from small places. Having probed the frozen landscapes of the moon BarraCuda, we think we've struck on something big. Science Officer Sofont C07 speaks of a bacterial life form unlike any other. It bonds with other individuals to form large blankets that are durable yet light and act as like solar cells. They absorb solar energy with surprisingly low efficiency loss percentage, most likely a result of evolution favouring those who could gather more heat from the harsh climate. Our researchers back home could surely find some use for this information. Find out if it can improve energy production or try and find a military use. Let's go for energy production, so that'll be useful for us. Gigantic skeleton. What was previously thought to be an assorted mountains in the southern hemisphere of Ajam have been identified as the massive skeletal remains of a single colossal alien life form. The bones have been dated as 3.4 billion years old, but our scientists have ruled out that Ajam 1A could have supported life on that scale at any point in the moon's history. Science Officer Sofont F22 has prepared a special research project to delve further into this mystery.
Situation log adjusted.
Our energy development researchers have made progress with the samples that we sent from BarraCuda. They've been able to develop a new type of solar cell using the organisms as a template. These are much more efficient at storing energy and will provide a boost to all our power plants. Energy credits plus 5%. Very nice.
Construction complete.
So we have this one here. This just requires a science ship in orbit, so let's go ahead and work on that one. Oh yeah, so most of the events don't have set results. So sometimes sometimes you can influence the results depending on which direction you go through the chain, but I think it's also combined with your various different ethics and things like that. So you won't always be guaranteed to get the same results. So which planet do we want to colonize? Where are the colonizable planets? It's 2 moons actually, and we want to go for this one. It's the desert one. We want to colonize this. We've already got this guy. click to select surface tile, and we're going to go for that one down there. We'll call it a Gem Prime. Volton mining base. Remains of a small Volton helium-3 mining base have been found at the bottom of a large crater on Fact 5. The blast that created the crater seems to have originated inside the facility itself. Unless Volton mining techniques were radically different from our own, an equipment failure or accident cannot account for such a massive explosion.
Situation log
So that
adjusted.
gives us a special project, which requires us to have a science ship in orbit. We've got one. You get yourself back over here and research that. Everybody's busy apart from our construction ship, which is fine. So where do we expand to next is the question. I guess we could...
Planetary settlement procedure.
We could
initiated.
move out and grab this one. This is our colony anyway. Our colony ship has successfully followed its programmed path and made planetfall on Agen Prime. Thousands of work units have emerged from the vessel's massive cargo base to construct an initial deployment post from which the settlement can expand. Efforts to systematically catalogue and designate surface resource deposits are ongoing, and all aggressive wildlife in the area surrounding the initial landing site have been pacified. We are now ready to begin mass production of additional XT-489 population units on the moon as resources allow. Our first colony is a success. This is a great day for the XT-489 eliminators. And we gained some research for that as well. Excellent. Maybe I want to move out in this direction and grab... I mean, that's not great, but that's looking pretty decent.
Special project
And
complete.
I think I want to move in that direction. Our continued studies of the massive skeletal remains on Agen 1A have managed to shed some light on how the creature ended up on the moon. There are very faint residual energy readings that indicate some kind of dimensional portal existed briefly towards the rear of the skeleton. Science Officer Sophon F-22 theorises that the creature passed through this gateway from another dimension, only to quickly perish in the hostile environment of Agen 1A. Why it did this and where it came from are questions that may never be answered, but it does give 200 experience to our scientist and 60 physics research. Let's get that construction ship building an outpost over here. We've got some minerals. Before we do anything else, let's go ahead and get ourselves a pop on this tile here. And we'll also go ahead and build a power plant. And then, if we've got any money left over, we'll go and start working on the fleet.
System survey complete.
See, that's a nice system. I quite like that one. Let's go and check that one out, because we might want to move up in that direction as well. Yep, you finished that, so you carry on surveying down here. As we can't go this way because of these amoebas. Our fleet's getting there, though. We're almost powerful enough to go and take those on.
Construction complete.
We are still researching a way to do more damage to them, so we probably won't go and do that until we've actually finished in 66 months on that one. We'll just keep building those guys up.
Special project complete.
Miraculously, we managed to salvage parts of a Volton data core that had been blown clear of the crater on Fact 5. Most of the data was corrupt, but our scientists did manage to properly translate Korga, the basic Volton time unit. So that gives us another artifact and some research. You continue surveying that. Hey Cam, how you doing, mate? Yeah, it's been a while. I don't stream a lot these days between work and, well, work, and a little bit of sleep in between, occasionally trying to pump out a few videos for the YouTube channel.
Technological acquisition successful.
Yeah, there isn't a lot of streaming goes on these days. We have our ceramo metal armor. Excellent. That'll improve our fleet somewhat. So, we could go for coil guns. I do like having better weapons.
Successful.
I do like having better weapons. Let's get this one first, so we'll get geothermal fracking because it's quicker. What did we just research there for physics? Oh, extra research speed. Nice. Let's go for... The survey speed would be useful, complete. And it is cheaper than basic combat rolls. So let's go and work on that. Science ship, carry on surveying.
Construction complete.
Right, that one is done. I think we will definitely want to go and build things here, especially that. I mean, that is literally one mining station for 4 energy. So that's really worth it. So 466 is our current fleet power.
System survey complete.
For 45 minerals, we go from 466
Ship augmentations
to
completed.
498. That's decent. I think we should also go up and take that up to the next level. A small group of malfunctioning units have separated themselves from the main intelligence of the XT-489 Eliminator and sought refuge in the merger system on the planet in the periphery of our space. These units have become irredeemably corrupted, and they now use crewed spacecraft to raid our space and for spare parts and resources. They must be dealt with. So that is the merger system, which is this one down here. So, time to move out with the fleet, methinks. Let's go ahead and grab ourselves an admiral. So, let's see what we've
Alert.
got.
Hostile fleet assets
Yeah, here we go.
detected.
We've got the pirates coming in now. Yeah, you work funny patterns as well, Cam. It's a nightmare, isn't it? Nicola, thank you very much for subscribing. So, what have we got here? We've got a guy. Emergency FTL damage risk minus 15%. Combat disengagement chance plus 25. That's nice for saving ships. Fire rate plus sublight speed is nice. Yeah, I think we're going to take the fire rate and plus sublight speed. So you will do. You've actually appeared in my home system, which is great because my navy's already there. So that makes life a little bit easier, doesn't it? So, or at least I think you've just appeared in... No, there you are. Are you in the system or not? No, there you are. Well, that was silly of you, wasn't it? Because you've got 180 fleet power, and you've literally just turned up in my system. Yeah, I'm not doing too bad, Cam. It's just, you know, a bit tired, working
Alert.
funny hours.
Station engaged.
Had a few busy months, but I'm enjoying it. It's all good stuff. We should take those guys out with minimal losses. Hopefully with no losses, but... never guaranteed. We've got armour, doesn't look like they have. They're down to a single corvette. There we go. We didn't lose a single thing there, I don't think.
Construction complete. Construction complete.
So we'll go and repair up. I think we're building a 10th ship as well. So that is fine. There was a lot of construction, completed constructions going on right there. Let's go ahead and get those other two mining stations. We may as well. Science ship. Let's go and research or survey that system then. See, with our Admiral, we're up to 567. So we could probably take out those amoebas. I still want to wait for the project to complete. As soon as we're repaired up, we'll go down there and take out the pirate station. I really thought that said Amazon Prime for a moment there. Fleet's been fully repaired. Do I want to build anything extra on this planet yet? I do. I kind of do. It would be nice to get some extra unity. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's go and build the uplink node. And then we'll get the pops after that's done. So, fleet. Get yourselves down here. I'll probably actually increase that fleet up even more, and we'll go up to something like 15 ships or something like that. Just sort of bulk it out as much as we can. We're not making an awful lot of energy credits at the moment, but we're losing -8 to the colonisation, so that's fine.
Hostile stationary asset engaged.
Yeah, as expected, and they've got next to nothing there, so they're just going to get absolutely wrecked. That's going to get taken out very quickly. There it goes. The Magnex machine fleet has destroyed a pirate station in the Merga system and recovered its strong room module. 180 minerals and 100 energy credits. Excellent work, guys. You can return home. Don't need to be there anymore. As you have returned home, let's go ahead and... what are you building there? You're building population, apparently.
Anomalous surface variable detected.
Is that right? Oh yeah, you're building this pop. And I'd also like you to go and build that pop as soon as you can. A larger impact crater has been discovered that does not seem to be a natural occurrence. That's a long time to research. We'll leave it be for now. Just noticed here, build multiple. Select this option to construct a pop on multiple tiles. Oh, nice. Didn't know that existed.
Anomalous surface variable detected.
Construction
Construction complete.
On my description of my system, it says I have the Hydro H110i times 3. Does it? I have the I have 3 fans. Yeah, I have the Hydro Series H110i and then 3 Thermaltake eSports ring fans. So there's two ring fans on the radiator, and a third fan is the exit fan on the case. But yeah, there's only one cooling system on the processor. Let's go ahead and research that one. A Class 12 asteroid orbits this planet. Small planetoid's orbit appears to be too stable for its presence to be a natural occurrence. It's alright, it's a little bit hard to read. It's just because I've put that sort of vertical line in there instead of putting it on a separate line. But no, it's just saying that there's three ring fans in there.
Construction complete.
Right, a lot of science ships getting a lot of stuff done. So let's go and survey that system. So this little system down here, right, this is what I was saying about choke points. Let's assume for a moment, and you should never really assume, but let's assume that this system here doesn't link up anywhere else. And in fact, I don't think it does. We'll find out when that science ship gets up there, if it ever gets up there. So there's no link down here to anything. There's probably no link up there to anything. Yep, there we go. So yeah, I don't think that links to anything. So all of these systems here are completely cut off because the only way to get to them is through this hyperlane and these 2 hyperlanes, which come from our space. So we've got all of this stuff caught out. Yeah, I think 3 radiators would be a bit overkill. The guy that built the system had to butcher the case a little bit to get 1 radiator in. So, unfortunately, it's a really nice case, this NXT case, but the radiator sits across the top, and you do have to kind of mangle the metalwork a little bit to get the radiator to fit in. For some reason, someone has towed an asteroid into a stable orbit around I-45. The massive engine sections and braking thrusters can still be found on the surface, although they have long since been rendered inoperable. Whoever did this also mined the asteroid for minerals, but these operations were seemingly abandoned shortly after they began. Well, that's good. That gives us a bit of engineering research there. So I want to take the construction unit and I want to go ahead and build an outpost here, because that's quite a nice system. Everything seems busy. Let's go ahead and build up the fleet a bit more if possible. We're still only halfway through building up that colony.
System survey complete.
There's a survey complete. Glowing webs of an unknown organic periodically... glowing webs of an unknown origin periodically illuminate the surface of IL-42. We can research that. It's relatively quick. Quick anomaly to do. So how we're building 2 ships with the look of things. That is fine. How are things going down here on the surface? We're still just waiting for pops to build. Growth progress is +1 per month. So it takes 30 months to grow a new pop, or build a new pop would be a more accurate term. So this thing is kind of stalled at the moment. How long have we got left on that project, actually? 38 months. That's still a significant amount of time, still over 3 years. But I've got a feeling that we'll bump into multiple amoebas, so it's probably worth it. Life Electric. Science Officer Sofont CO7 reports that IL-42 is covered pole to pole in a web-like network of electric impulses. These networks respond to external stimulus. The 489 Researcher 2 experimented with sending a low voltage pulse onto the surface, resulting in a wave of illumination that rippled through the network like a circuit board. Even more remarkable, these webs rearranged themselves. A secondary pulse revealed that the filaments had organised into a new pattern, centred around where the previous pulse had contacted the surface of IL-42. Sofont C07 concludes that the discovery has confirmed their long-held theory that life can exist almost purely as electrical impulses independent of cellular or viral structure. And that gives you a 1 skill level and gives us some research. That's a very research-heavy system right there. We can't research that yet, so I mean we could, but it'll take forever. Let's go and research this. And the reason I say that is because you are our highest ranked scientist, so that'll be relatively quick for you to do.
Construction complete.
So our fleet power is up to 726 now. I still think I'm going to try and get this built up to the full 15 ships. Decent amount of energy credits in storage. Mineral gain is acceptable. Unity, we're 11 months off getting the next one. We probably want to go for that leader experience gain because we do have a trait that reduces that. It's on our pop, isn't it? Where do I see this? Species. So yeah, we have this. Repurposed hardware. Leader experience. Gain minus 25%. So we do need to sort that out. And we'll probably go down and research that one as well. I will do more researching up here, but I don't feel in a big rush. So there's nothing that connects to this. If I was to go and claim,
variable detected.
If I was to go ahead and claim this system here, then it blocks that off as well. We briefly detected some unusual energy readings emanating from this moon. It might have been a glitch in our systems, or it could be a sign of something more. So relatively quick research. So let's go ahead and do it. Construction ship. Well, we should definitely get some of this stuff connected up. Let's go and get the mining station there. And we'll queue up that one by holding shift. We'll get the energy first. Oh, I'll unpause.
Construction complete.
So what's the fleet up to now? 822. I really would love to finish that that research before I send the guys down there to do anything. System survey is complete, which is this one. So we've done all of these now. We can't go down here yet because of that thing. So let's take you up here. You survey that system. You'll survey that system. We definitely need to go ahead and get rid of these hostiles, though. So we'll do that as quickly as we can. Nothing here is going to improve our ships any, which is a shame. Bunkerbot. We have traced the unusual electromagnetic radiation emanating from Sehuvius 9A to a secret subterranean bunker hiding a megacomputer the size of a battleship. Our researchers suspect that it may have been there for several thousand years, hard at work, solving a single very complex problem, the nature of which still eludes us. When the crew attempted to interact with the computer, they discovered that the facility, which had appeared both abandoned and unguarded, was in fact operated by a security AI, the highest purpose of which seems to be for frying its visitors alive. As the crew defeated the AI, it broadcasted a message to an unknown recipient. Scrap the megacomputer for parts, which gives us 100 minerals, is not a lot. Use it to boost our own research. This basically gives us plus 10% engineering research for 120 months, or let it continue its mysterious calculations. I say we use it to increase our own science and see what happens. That's probably a bad idea, but you know we're going to roll with it and see where it goes. Brian Stanley, thank you very much for subscribing. So, where do we go from here? That's still a bit too long in the research time. Probably want to colonise that second planetoid as soon as the first one is done. So we'll save up some minerals. The good thing is it's always nice having multiple planets in a single system, because when Stellaris first came out, these were individual planets. Your planetary cap, it was directly controlled colonized worlds, not systems. So if you had 3 planets all in one system, it used 3 of your slots. Now it's systems, so you can have multiple planets, it only counts as 1. The Volton satellite. A small Volton satellite was found in orbit around a Crux 2A. It's been set to continuously repeat a message until its power source drained millions of years ago. We salvaged its transmitter array but could only recover a small portion of the transmission. The main purpose of this satellite was to apparently preach the dominant Volton philosophy to neighbouring civilizations. Its message speaks of the need to disconnect and embrace true existence, whatever that means. Curious.
Situation log adjusted.
Does give us a special thing. Let's go and research that though.
Construction complete.
And we want the leader experience gain, so let's go and work on that one. Construction ship. I want all the things, but let's go ahead and get the research station, because we have been neglecting research a little. I probably do want to grab that just so we can get research stations here. System survey complete. We only need to build 3 stations. This anomaly will probably make 4, but it's probably worthwhile. There's some sort of weird thing up there. Research complete there. Right, you move up and survey that system. Everyone just moving around so slowly, but it's fine. Any other anomalies that we need to do? Yeah, I think someone was heading down to do that one at some point. You're moving to survey that. You're surveying, researching something there. You're doing that one. Yeah, so we'll move this guy down to do this one after that. That'll be fine. Okay, it's just trying to remember everything that you want to do. Construction complete. Do we have enough minerals to get all of those mining stations? Just. Let's do it.
Special project
we need the mining
complete.
stations. They're important because the minerals give us growth. After careful analysis of the Volton transmitter array, our archaeologists and data engineers have concluded that the machinery does not contain any technologies of value to us. The project has greatly improved our understanding of the primary Volton programming language, however. This will hopefully make it easier to decipher their data in the future. And again, recovers an artifact and gives us 73 engineering research. Very nice. Oh, we've got another planet here. Only a size 13 world. Not great. We are stacking up some influence here, actually. Can we enable any policies and edicts? Map the stars. Lasts 11 years and 6 months. Gives us more survey speed and more anomaly discovery chance. Sure. Let's just go and turn that straight on. Do you know, Ben? The first
technological acquisition successful.
The first Paradox game that I ever really got into, and again, like yourself, for a long time, I only used to watch people play, and the one that got me really hooked was Europa Universalis 4, which is arguably one of the most complex out of all of them. Possibly CK2, and I used to watch Quill18 play it, and I really, really wanted to learn the game, and every time that I sort of looked at it, it terrified me of how complex it was. And I've got hundreds and hundreds of hours in it now, and I still admit that I don't fully understand all of the mechanics and how it works, but it is one of those games that is just so fulfilling to play, because even though you don't understand how all of it works, and even though it's really complicated, every time you play you learn something new. And even if you play a game and fail because you don't know what you're doing, you still have fun. You still have fun failing the game. And you make mistakes, and those mistakes you carry with you onto the next playthrough, and you don't make them again. But yeah, I do agree, if you're just sitting back and watching them, they are quite intimidating, but they're well worth picking up in a sale when they're on a deep discount. Unfortunately, with Paradox, they have sales often, and you can buy the base game usually dirt cheap, like 80% off, but by the time you've bought all of the DLC, you've usually bought a full price game. But it's certainly worth, if they ever do a free weekend or they ever do a deep discount, because the Steam Summer Sale is coming up soon as well. Grab a hold of one of them and give it a go. They really are worthwhile. They do have a learning curve, but they're enjoyable all the same. So there's the geothermal fracking done. Corvette hull points. Oh, it's so nice. Corvette build speed increase and build cost reduction. I think we need the whole points though, really. So what I was saying earlier about having planets where you can specialise, if all this planet had on it was sort of mineral repositories. I mean, if we're currently getting 7, 12, 16, 22 minerals off this planet. So if we built that facility that gives us an extra 10%, that's an extra 2.2 minerals. We're also about to upgrade all of these, which will give us a fair bit more mineral output as well. Anyway, Ben, I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. But yeah, this is certainly one of the best ways to learn these games. That if I've got one complaint about Paradox, and as much as Paradox send me a lot of stuff for free, I used to buy all of the stuff. I bought many of the early games. I bought EU4, I bought CK2, Stellaris I got for free, Hearts of Iron I got for free, and pretty much now every time they bring out a new game or an expansion or a DLC, they send it to me for free, because I cover their games quite a lot. But I'm still critical of them. I still don't like the way some of their DLC policies work. I think that a lot of them are overpriced for the amount of content they have.
Anomalous surface variable detected.
Sensors are reporting a number of possible points of interest within the dense debris field. We will... it's routine, we'll do it. So yeah, I am still critical of them. And one of the areas where I'm very critical of Paradox is with their... one of the areas where I'm very critical of Paradox is with their tutorials, because I think they're absolutely terrible. They're crap. Mostly because they don't explain half of the game's mechanics.
Established.
We've established our colony. That's done. So yeah, they really, really are just terrible tutorials. They don't help in the slightest. And for me, learning anything has always been either spending ages reading Wikipedia articles or just learning as I play. Let's try and get some more society and physics research. Let's get these...
Construction complete.
So what have we got going on? You are now sitting around doing nothing. So let's get you to research that anomaly.
System survey complete.
You have finished that one, so let's get you up here now. We've actually got our first binary system up here, I believe. Eat or be eaten. Floating on the outskirts of the debris field is the pitiful form of a crumpled up science vessel of unidentifiable origin. The presence of bite marks and digestive fluids on the hull suggest it was chewed up and then regurgitated by some large predator. Ironically, the ship's crew were on a culinary odyssey of their own in search of new exotic delicacies, where they themselves ended up on the menu. They had rated a staggering number of life forms on everything from nutritional content to chewiness. Among their top picks were the Rithilian dynastic union for their juicy venom gland and spicy temperament. We have earned a mediocre placement at the bottom of the list thanks to the stringiness of our flesh and the lackluster quarry we make. Some like to play with their food. We don't have flesh, we're robots. Fix your ship, Paradox. You're not getting this working correctly. That does give us some society research though, which is nice. Borders closed. We have met the Rithilian dynastic union. These guys. We have allowed you to move about freely in our territory for too long. Today we draw the line. You're all the way over there. The only way we know these guys exist is because of that event we just got. So we're nowhere near these guys. Now they do have a gate over here, an L gate. We have a gateway. I wonder if they're connected in some way. That'd be quite interesting. You guys have got a lot of resources. You've got some decent planets there.
Special project complete.
Space amoebas forever. There we go. We finally finished that research. A space amoeba is usually accompanied by a handful of semi-independent flagella used for defense and object manipulation. The amoeba has its flagella do not share a mind, the former instead using RNA-laced sections to program the latter for execution of tasks of middling complexity. The flagella are fascinating. We get plus 5% evasion or retrieve some tissue samples, which basically allows us to get regenerative hull tissue, which can be nice. It takes a long time to research. Evasion plus 5. I think we'll just get the hull tissue. Doesn't really help us in our immediate problems, so what we're going to do I think I'm going to go ahead to the fleet manager. I'm going to take this up to... I'm going to take this up to something. We're going to try and build the fleet up. We're going to go down and we're going to take these amoebas out so we can go and explore a little bit more down there. Construction ship has built everything it needs to down there. What do we want to take next?
Complete.
This isn't a bad place. That particular planet is not great. It does have some minerals on it. There is some... minerals, energy, science. I guess it's worth grabbing it.
Construction complete.
So let's go ahead and build an outpost there. So you've researched all of that. You're going up to do that. A lot of guys that can't really get anywhere right now. We don't have the assist research thing yet. So, what do I want to do with you? I guess we will be dealing with these amoebas soon. Let's take you back towards the homeworld for now, and we'll get another ship. Where are we? That's the shipyard. What do I want? The fleet. There we go. Going to build up the fleet a little bit more. They only have like 500 and something, so they're not overly powered. That said, 532 to our 870. We should decimate them. We will take some damage. I don't doubt that. But yeah, all of this stuff here we've got completely sort of trapped behind our lines, which is really good. We will claim all of that. But we're better off claiming outwards first, because no one else can get to this, so there's no rush for it. Signs of battle. There is clear evidence that a massive space battle took place in the close orbit of Merga 4 at some point in the last 5,000 years. The surface on one side of the planet is pockmarked with craters from stray weapon blasts, and scans from the 489 Researcher 2 have picked up several hulks on the ground. Though these wrecked ships are all in very poor condition, the fact that anything remains at all after all the damage must have sustained is a testament to their advanced design. Science Officer Sophont CO7 is preparing an expedition to sift through these derelict hulls for any valuable technologies.
Situation log adjusted.
Mount Graveyard Expedition. Let's go for that. It's not like we're waiting on science ships. They're not all particularly busy right now. Right, have we got any more ships coming? No, let's keep building it up though. At the same time, we also want to keep building up our population, particularly on these planets that have a relatively low pop. A colossal impact crater hints that something big collided with the surface of this planet once. Yep, let's research that. We can't clear a lot of these tile blockers here, but we can certainly grab some of the minerals. I'm not going to bother putting a building here because you're going to get decent stuff without a building. But let's go ahead and get another pop building there. One advantage... No, I still think pops build one at a time, actually. So even if you queue them up, they'll just build one at a time. Civilization 5 was a really weird game for me. Civilization 5 was the first Civ game that I ever played, and the only reason I own it is because I got it free when I bought the Firaxis XCOM. The first time I tried to play Civilization 5, bear in mind this was before either of the two expansions. It was before Gods and Kings and it was before Brave New World. And I just didn't get it. I didn't enjoy it. You know, I built a couple of workers, put them onto auto upgrade, and the game didn't click with me. And I went back to it a few months, well, many months later after the expansions came out, and I've really enjoyed it since, and I've put hundreds of hours into it. But again, it's one of those games, and I find this with most strategy games. If you start playing a strategy game, and you don't put the effort and time in to learn them, they can seem pretty boring because you don't really know what you're doing. But the more you play them and the more you understand them, the more fun they are. It's always worth trying to put the time in to learn them. How often do I stream? I'll be honest, at the moment, not very often. I put YouTube videos out on normally a daily basis, providing my work doesn't interfere with it too much. Yeah, streaming is kind of a as and when thing. Hopefully I'll do it a little bit more. I would like to do more streaming, but there's no set schedule for streaming at the moment. But yeah, certainly videos, and I've got thousands. I've got like 3,000 videos on my YouTube channel of Civilization 5, Civilization 6, Civilization Beyond Earth, Stellaris, Hearts of Iron, EU4, CK2, XCOM, lots and lots of strategy games on there, so something for everyone, hopefully. You're sitting there waiting for the fleet. A large mineral-rich asteroid collided with Ardabak B2 at some point during the previous 1,000 years in what must have been a major impact event. An abundance of minerals can now be found on the planet in the vicinity of the impact crater.
Special project
Excellent.
complete.
Where was that? Was that up there? Yeah. Special project is completed. The team under the Science Officer Sophon C07 has finished their expedition on Merga 4 and returned to the 489 Researcher 2. Thankfully, the Starship graveyard on the surface proved to be a technological treasure trove. Studying the remains of these vessels has advanced our research in certain fields by several years, and there are yet things to discover. A permanent science outpost in orbit will be a great boon to our Starship engineering efforts. So, +3 engineering, and we gain 219 engineering research, and he gains some experience. Nice. Good stuff. You're down there, so go over there and research that anomaly, if you wouldn't mind. Right.
Construction complete.
Fleet is already at full strength. I only went up to 18. I don't know why I was saving some room, but let's go down here and get ready to take out those amoeba. And then we can start moving our science ships down here and doing a little bit more discovery. Not Star Trek discovery, mind. I might have to send one this way and one that way. That's probably where we'll end up going. So both science ships will end up coming down this way. Our construction ship.
Tile blocker expunged.
You should probably be working on something here. Go ahead and get the research station for now, because I would kind of like that physics research. What do we want here on the home planet? Go ahead and build a pop here in the on the engineering research, and as we can afford it, let's go and build a research station there as well. So that science ship's going to sit down there. There are a few nice worlds down here. I mean, there's decent amounts of energy around, so we should certainly do that. Okay. Fleet present. So we might take a little bit of damage here. They only have 4 sort of Corvette-sized ships. Let's just take the speed down to watch the battle. So they have sort of 4 Corvette-sized ships, but it's the big one that does most of the damage to us. So they've lost 2 of their Corvettes. They've lost 3. They're about to lose the 4th one. In fact, the big one's going down. Now, some of our ships are retreating.
Construction complete.
Ooh, you survived with 14 hit points. But everybody survived. Excellent. And we now have some stuff to research there. That works out nicely for us. Okay, fleet, go home and repair. And we're going to get our science vessel that's doing nothing. We're going to get you to research the projects in the system first. Good stuff. Let's go back up to speed 2 so it doesn't take us forever. Started watching stuff from Hearts of Iron. Well, Hearts of Iron is a relatively new game. It came out about the same time. Well, I mean, obviously it's the 4th. It's the 4th Hearts of Iron game. But Hearts of Iron came out after CK2 and EU4. It came out last year, or maybe late 2016. It came out at the same time as... yeah, it would have been 2016. It came out about the same time that Stellaris did. They're just in the process of releasing a new expansion for it called Man the Guns, which basically completely... it completely redoes naval warfare. So you will have far more control over the way naval combat works, which is fantastic because naval combat was a particularly huge part of World War II, both for the Americans and the Japanese, and between the British, the Germans, and the Italians. So you know, the fact that it's so simplistic in Hearts of Iron 4, it's about time they fix that. I do like Hearts of Iron 4, but it's one of the Paradox games that I struggle with the most. I've never actually managed to successfully win a game of Hearts of Iron 4, but no, it's certainly not a dead title. The only one that's possibly dead at the moment is Victoria, because there hasn't been a new Victoria since Victoria 2, which was out in like 2010, 2011. They've also got a new title that they're bringing out sometime called Imperator Rome, which is basically a sort of a combination between CK2 and EU4, but it's all based in the Roman Empire, so that should be quite good. Conthim 3A was home to a small Volton outpost where they traded with several neighbouring civilizations. At some point, the trade with the Volton the trade post appears to have been converted into a religious mission, where the Volton attempted to convert visiting alien merchants to their philosophy. Trade ceased shortly afterwards, and the moon was eventually abandoned. Issues a special project trade post. Research that. So one thing that I have noticed in this sort of current incarnation of Stellaris is that these missions that you get, where you have to find X number of a certain planet or X number of a certain artifact, they do seem to make it so that
technological acquisition successful.
They do seem to make it so that they're all quite close together. This is like the third game now that I've played with this current expansion, where all of the things that I've needed to find to complete one of these missions have all been within the neighbouring star systems. Before this expansion, you'd get planets that you needed to find that was like there'd be one here and there'd be one over here and there'd be one down here, and you'd never be able to reach them because they were behind so many enemies' borders or in enemy territory. By the time you could get them all, the reward was worthless. So I am glad that they've changed the way that works. Construction ship, would you please go and build those mining stations? Science, we've done sciencing, we've increased our survey speed. Improved deflectors, yes, better shields on our ships. So you are going to need a mining network. There's nothing much here that we can still
Construction complete.
You're still building the pop. Plenty of energy. Let's go ahead and clear that last tile blocker. There's already a construction project queued for it. Is it? Oh, we're already removing it. Excellent. I don't need to worry about that then, it would seem. Oh, that's a good one. So this system actually has 11 minerals, and this is one of the binary systems. You can see it has 2 stars. This one's a pulsar as well. So we have got a decent amount of minerals in the area here. Unfortunately, there is 100% shield nullification.
Planetary alert. Tile blocker expunged.
So we probably want to continue up in that direction. That's probably not a bad way to go. Like I said, I do want to grab all this stuff. We will probably grab a second construction ship. In fact, that's not a bad idea. Let's go ahead and get one. Archaeologists on Conthim 3A have salvaged a small Voltium digital pamphlet. Seems the missionaries at the outpost pass the pamphlets like this to visiting merchants. Most of the data is corrupt, but there are several references to the Great Lie and the shackles of virtual reality. How many more of these things have we got left to find? 2 more. We've almost finished researching that debris.
Ship fragments dissected.
So that gives us another 10% to regenerative hull tissue, plus 10% to the amoeba breeding program, and plus 10 points to society research. If you could go and survey the system, that'd be fantastic. You are now doing nothing of use, so please start heading over there.
Construction complete.
There's significant scarring on the surface of this world in a pattern that cannot be natural.
Construction
From orbit,
complete.
the massive rifts look almost like writing. Well, we'll research that. And what did I want to do? I wanted to take my construction ship. You're still building all of that. But once you've done that, get yourself over here and build a mining outpost. Or build an outpost, and then we'll work our way up to that one. We've got a planet up here. It's not a great one. It is probably worth colonising this other planet. I mean, it's not a great planet, but at the same time, it won't actually cost us as another core sector, or core system. We don't have an awful lot of energy at the moment, which is a problem. We do have that other construction ship. Where would be the best source of it? We are probably going to have to go down in this way anyway. There's 5 energy down here. Let's go ahead and build an outpost down here then. We'll grab this energy. My favourite game, my favourite Paradox game is probably a mix. Well, it's a hard one to pick between Stellaris and EU4. EU4, I've probably put the most time and effort into it. I really do enjoy EU4. I quite like sort of history and the feudal system and stuff like that. So yeah, I do enjoy EU4. My favourite game, sort of period. My favourite strategy game of all time, and this... it might sound sycophantic a little bit. My favourite strategy game that I've ever played is XCOM, and when I say XCOM, I mean the original 1994 XCOM UFO Defense, or XCOM, or UFO Enemy Unknown, as it was in the US. So not to be confused with the new Firaxis XCOMs. And I always loved the XCOM games. The XCOM was the game that got me into strategy games. Obviously it's quite old now, it looks very dated, it's still very, very fun to play, but it is an old game. Out of the more modern games, my favourite strategy game is probably Civilization V. It is a really, really fun one for me. A small rectangular object on the surface of this moon is deflecting all scanning beams like a mirror. Our sensors are unable to determine its material composition. And let us research it. So we're still waiting for you to grow. We are getting that additional unity. So this is another reason why I've got to be careful not to just build too many populations, because at the moment populations cost us energy. We could go ahead, we've got decent minerals. I mean, we could go ahead and just build a power plant and put a pop in it, but we don't get very much from it. It's only a net gain of 1. But we'll grab those. I'd like to grab like this one here. There's 6. It says 6 energy. Where's the other one? Am I looking in the right system? No, I'm looking in the wrong system. This system. This system has 6, and 4 of them are on one planet. That'd be really nice to get. The problem is we'd have to build 1, 2, 3, 4 outposts to get there. Yeah, I never played the earlier Civ games. The issue that I had is I didn't have a PC until around... I didn't have a PC until around 1998 or something like that, so it was kind of after XCOM originally came out, it was after Civilization originally came out, it was after Terraform the Deep. I never really got into XCOM Apocalypse at that time, and in fact my first exposure to XCOM was on the PlayStation. It was the PlayStation version of it. So I didn't really get into strategy games on the PC until sort of quite late. There are many strategy games that are easy to exploit. I was actually sitting talking to Julian not so long back, and I was talking about XCOM, and I was talking to him about a certain exploit where you can basically have multiple bases, and on the last day of the month you can move all of your staff from base A to base B, and move all of your staff from base B to base A, and because they're in transit during the end of the month when the salaries are paid, you don't have to pay for the staff because they're not technically on either base, so they're free. And you know, 24 years after he made the game, and he didn't know that exploit even existed. Free unity for completing research, sure, let's go for that. I really should go back and play some of the old Civilization games. The only older one I have, though, is Civ 4. I don't have 1 to 3, although I'm sure you can probably pick them quite cheaply these days. Another alien mural. While conducting surface scans on Sorkimax 2A, Science Officer Sofon AO2 and the crew of the 489 Researcher 3 discovered what appears to be an artificially carved slab of rock covered in alien writing. They've not detected any other signs of alien activity on the moon, and exactly how the mural came to be here is a mystery. We have prepared a special project to translate the text.
Situation log adjusted.
Fantastic. Let's go and let's have a science ship in orbit. Why don't we have a... No, you're right there, look. Research that. And then go back to surveying the system afterwards. We also want to get that gateway, although there's probably no rush. In my other game that I'm playing, I've actually managed to find... Well, I've got a ring world right in the middle of my territory complete. Because of the precursor event.
Construction complete.
The Curators event. And I've also found an abandoned Dyson sphere as well, right next to a fallen empire. So I now have a damaged Dyson sphere and a damaged ring world, both in my territory. Let's go ahead and, well, 4 energy, so that's well worth having right there. 11 energy, that's a good system.
Construction complete.
That is a very good system right there. There's a world, which is not great, but that's a good system. Let's go ahead and get that other colony ship building, actually.
Technological acquisition successful.
There's some sciencing done. Corvette hull points, very nice. Yeah, that's passive, so we don't need to do an upgrade for that. Let's get the coil guns, though. Certainly have that one. We'll keep researching down here. But yeah, that's a nice amount of energy output. That's a nice system as well. And again, if we were to control...
Special project complete.
Science Officer Sofon AO2 has managed to partially translate the alien mural discovered on Sorkimax 2A. It's a memorial for an extinct alien race that once maintained a small interstellar empire in the region of the galaxy. They were apparently exterminated by the creators of the mural, a fact they seem to regret. Given that the mural has been dated in excess of 300 million years old, it is likely that the creators are also extinct by now. Perhaps most interesting of all is the material that the mural was made of, despite its age, is in remarkably good condition. So that just gives us a boost to science. So what I was just about to say was, if I controlled this system here, which I didn't want to zoom in on, if I controlled this system, it literally blocks off all the access to our territory, because that's the only way in from the north, and this is the only way in from the south. So I could build a space station here, and I could build a space station there, and anyone that wants to attack us would literally have to come through those 2 space stations. I'm really starting to like this
construction complete.
This sort of choke point system that they've put in.
System survey complete.
Really like that.
Construction complete.
Now, a mining station for 1 energy is not always great. I mean, it's still a net gain of 1, but this one should actually give us minerals as well, so it's probably worth it. Hey Kelson, thanks very much. Yeah, I don't stream very often. I used to, but my work schedule and my sleep schedule and generally my life schedule is quite erratic, so streaming is not always a possibility for me, which is why I've always done the YouTube videos. It's far more convenient that I can just sort of record when I want and put them out when I want, but there are some times where I think I'd like to do a stream, so you know, here I am doing a stream. I'm probably failing hard. Yeah, we've got to work our way up. We've got to grab that. We need to get up and grab that. Construction ships. Do I want to grab those? Sure, let's
construction complete.
Almost 3,000, yeah. It's not all Paradox stuff. I mean, there is things like Civilization and XCOM, so you got some Firaxis stuff. I used to do Minecraft videos. That's kind of where I started out, doing Minecraft tutorials for Feed the Beast and Tech-It and stuff like that. So I got a lot of my early audience was from doing those videos. I've also got games on the channel like Tomb Raider, the new one. I'm sure that's not the only story-driven game. I've done Sleeping Dogs, Batman Arkham City, so I've done a few other types of games on the channel as well. Yeah, you're right, the choke points do work both ways, but I'd sooner make it difficult for someone to get into my system. I've seen Frostpunk. A friend of mine, Marbazir, another YouTuber, he has played through it quite a lot, and I've watched him play it. It's probably not a game I would play, because I don't feel that it has too much replayability. Now, that's not... I'm not saying anything against the game itself, but it doesn't feel like it's very sandbox. Yeah, exactly. It's fun but short. It's like once you've done it, it's kind of, well, that's it. It's over now. I really need to go and get all this energy up there because we're now losing energy. Although we have just probably produced the colony ship. Yeah, it's the colony ship that's costing me right now. That's fine. Let's...
Anomalous surface variable detected.
The material composition of this asteroid differs significantly from its neighbours.
Construction
likely
complete.
Has a different origin than the other bodies in this asteroid belt. We should investigate it. Yep, sure. So let's go ahead and get an outpost there. Then we'll move straight up and grab this one, and we'll just go and build all the mining stations to get that energy. Because we really, really do need to keep our energy levels high. Is there anything going on the surface here?
Construction complete.
We haven't got this guy yet. Minerals are decent, so let's go ahead and just take this guy out the minerals and put him in the energy one. Now we're breaking even. Just swap those guys around for now. You have done that one. Let's move you and survey this one. I want to go up there as well, actually. Because if nothing connects to this one... then capturing this also blocks those 3 systems as well. Fossils from what appears to be several species of aquatic animals have been found on the barren and airless surface of TD-1863. There are indications that the surrounding asteroid belt was created from the remains of a shattered planet, and these findings seem to confirm that theory. Judging by the fossils, the planet supported life and it was at least partially covered by water. That's some more science gain for us right there. Yeah, so we'll get these guys searching down here. You have arrived, so we want to go and colonise this system, and we'll sit on a tile that has energy. We want to colonise. We've already got the ship. You're going to go there. Ajam Secundus. Yep, that'll do. Not like Amazon Prime. I think a lot of the reasons why my viewership doesn't necessarily equate to my moth just landed on the microphone. A lot of the reasons why my sort of view numbers
planetary settlement procedure
don't
initiated.
What's going on? A lot of the reason why my view numbers don't equate to my subscribers is because, first of all, strategy games are very niche. A lot of the subscribers I have are people who subscribe for things like Minecraft, which I don't do anymore. So I've probably still got a couple of thousand subscribers that came from Minecraft. And also, although I don't do them very often, my most popular videos are tutorial videos. I've got a tutorial series that I did for EU4. It's a bit dated now because there's been about 3 or 4, maybe even 5 expansions since I did that series. But the first episode of that series is my most watched video on the channel, which has got about 140,000 views. So when you consider that a lot of my videos only have like maybe a couple of hundred, if I start a series, if I was to start a Europa Universalis 4 series or a Civilization 6 series or whatever, the first episode would probably gain a couple of thousand views. Second episode would be down to 1,000, third episode 500, fourth episode 300, fifth episode 150, and then we get into the sort of hundreds or less. But my tutorial videos, they usually get massive amounts of views. My second highest video is Phoenix Point, a video that I did for that and put on the channel for the backer build. That was only a couple of months ago, and it's already my second most viewed video. It's like 120,000 views. It's right behind that 2-year-old EU4 or 3-year-old EU4 video. So it's just doing something that's a little bit different to everything else.
System survey complete.
ASML Gaming, thank you very much for the sub. Didn't pop your name up for some reason. It didn't give me the alert.
Construction complete.
Right, we've got that one. Let's get over here and instantly build a base there. So this construction ship has finished. I'm not going to build anything more with you. I'm kind of thinking maybe this one isn't going to pop with those aliens. I mean, it might. It just might. I really don't know. Let's go ahead and put the fleet up to the full 20. This science ship is finished there, so let's send you off in this direction. And you can sort of grab all of these. We should probably start thinking about getting somebody else on here as well. We can't clear any of these tile blockers, which is annoying, but we can go ahead and... I guess there's not much point building a POP and building a power station just to get, like, a net gain of 1 energy. It's not really worth it. Let's get you down grabbing these ones if we can. Yeah, this is a lot of the issue with Paradox games. It's not like you can even do a video that says, right, this... Let's say you've got 10 DLCs that are called DLCs 1 to 10. It's not like you can even say, well, if you've got DLC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, then watch this video, because there'll be some people who will have DLC 1, but they won't have 2 and 3, but they'll have 4 and 5. They won't have 6 or 7, but they'll have 8 and 9. And then it's really difficult when they're watching a video, because some of the things you're explaining, some of the buttons that you're clicking, they don't have, because they've got random collections of DLC. None of the DLC are dependent on previous DLC. You two men have an excellent evening, and hopefully I will see you another time. Thanks for dropping by the stream. We've encountered some form of alien vessels from the Sirius system. Strange objects have been flagged as psi aliens. Until we can learn more about them, we should proceed with caution. Let's go ahead
executing invasion protocols.
Research them. What have we got here? We've encountered some form of alien vessels in the Great Wound system. The strange objects is flagged as Omega aliens. Until we learn more about them, we should also proceed with caution. Wow, what the heck is going on here? What are all these? Look at all these black holes. Right, these are definitely things that we probably want to avoid. Look at these things. We've got 6K fleets. And each of these fleets, these are void clouds. Each of these fleets has 6 ships that are basically battleship size. So, yep, definitely want to avoid them for a while.
Construction complete.
They're moving towards us, which is not good. Get out of there.
A foreign entity has decrypted our communications.
We really need to get out of there. Disengagement, chance reduction plus 50%. Emergency, FTL jump cooldown. Yeah, you need to get out of there. This is a lot of stuff that's just popped up all at once. Communications established. After successfully translating their language, we have established communications with the Plex Cradonian Empire. Diplomatic channels are now open, but we can't really talk to them. It's just seek and destroy. Abandoned gateway. We've encountered another abandoned gateway, this time near the Termeku black hole. It appears to have been built entirely by microscopic nanites of an unknown design. Unlike the previous structure, this gateway has been significantly altered since its initial construction. Its connection to the rest of the network has been severed. Instead, the only valid destination is an uncharted group of stars just beyond our galaxy that has been designated the L cluster by astronomers. Although the gateway emits a faint power signature, it has been deliberately locked into some kind of maintenance loop that prevents its activation. Until we find some way of aborting this process, the L cluster will remain beyond our reach. Intriguing. We have detected what appears to be a naturally occurring subspace phenomenon at the edge of the Tonrak system. A rift in the very fabric of space-time has formed here, creating a wormhole that, our science units speculate, may provide a conduit through subspace to another wormhole located somewhere else in our galaxy. Depending on where the second wormhole is located, this could potentially allow ships to travel from one end of the galaxy to another in a matter of days. Unfortunately, this wormhole, like the vast majority of its kind, is inherently unstable. Any vessels foolish enough to pass through it would be ripped apart in seconds. If only somehow it could be stabilised. Some strategic resource information.
Acquisition
Right, you've got out of there. Fantastic. Good. Okay. So, what have we started to spot? We found these guys up here. These guys look quite big. And it looks like that they have the L gate. So let's just have a quick look. They are unfriendly. Their fleet power is equivalent. We might be able to build up our fleet enough to do them some damage. So we've got the network junction. I can't even remember what that gives us now. Clearing tile blockers. We could certainly do with these. Regenerative hull tissue is nice. What tile blockers do we have a lot of? Let's just make sure we're still paused. There are some quicksand basins here. But we've also got, on the surface of this one, we've got a lot of jungles. What were the options that we had? And we've got jungles and we've got both of them. Let's go for the jungles one because that planet has less usable spaces. Strategic resource information, which is on a system that we do not control. That's interesting. Are you avoiding that? We should definitely avoid that for a while. Let's go and set that to restricted. So our science ships, our civilian ships won't move into a system that has enemy vessels in it anyway, once it knows it has enemy vessels in it. But restricting it means that our military vessels won't accidentally pass through it either. So let's get you to go and survey that system as well. Make sure I'm paused. You can sit around there for a while.
Anomalous surface variable detected.
Initial analysis of the asteroid's composition points towards potentially interesting finds. So, yeah, we definitely want to control these ones here. Right, you go ahead and... Right, you're already building an outpost there. Good. So yeah, we definitely want to grab ourselves some kind... We'll move up as far as we can here. Build mining stations. We'll move up as far as we can, and we will build a like a defensive outpost here or something, and kind of block those guys in a little bit. Make it difficult for them to get to us. Of course, it makes it just as difficult for us to get to them, but we will do what we can.
Construction complete.
This construction ship, I might... I don't know what I'm going to do with that one. It appears the asteroid IL-OT9 and the surrounding debris originate from a former planet. Deep within the centre of the asteroid we can find traces of extremely valuable minerals. There are also hints of bacterial life that has now died in the vacuum of space. This shows us that the celestial body once bore the promise of life. And that gives us some extra minerals. Where's that we've just discovered that on? Is it down here somewhere? It's this one here. Missing in action. Did you just expand your borders? You did. They've just grabbed that system and pushed us back. So the question is, do I want to grab this system? And I think I probably do. Let's get this other construction ship up here as quick as we can. And then we'll go and build a base up here. These are our direct neighbours. We definitely need... And there is a planet, it's a desert world with 14 slots. I think we want to grab that as quickly as we can. And we'll build a station up there, and we'll build lots of defence platforms, just to make it really difficult for them to get in. Meanwhile, we'll keep researching stuff down here. We'll check this out. We'll send that other science vessel down to research some of this stuff. We'll have to take a wide berth around that thing, but that should be fine. Tomb World, we can upgrade some stuff here. We can upgrade this.
Anomalous surface variable detected.
It will cost us 2 energy, which is not great. That's going to take a long time to research, so leave it be for now. Can you just go over there and build an outpost? And we'll deal with that later. We'll deal with that as it comes. Unfortunately, our fleet size is only 20. I'd kind of like to build that up if I can. I'd love to have a stronger fleet than these guys. We're also going to need to build an army. Now, our armies are cheaper, which is good. But we will need to build a... yeah, there is an upkeep. So we definitely want to build an army. So we can go and attack them. We do have a CB against them, which is fine. But yeah, let's go and grab that so we can sort of really block them off. That's kind of my plan for this. Also want to go and grab that as well, but we're in no huge rush. Yeah, that's a really massive anomaly there. Won't be researching that one anytime soon. I probably will go up here and grab those extra 2 minerals. We're still losing energy, and we will do until the colony is finished. I think you've just got everything queued up.
Anomalous surface variable detected.
We can work on that one. No, you are moving over there. Right, the question is, do they have a ship here? No. And you are going over here to building Starbase. Yep, that's fine.
System survey complete.
Okay. So you finish this one. Let's go and survey these. We do want to grab these ones here and that one. When we get our other science vessel back, we will do that on the one that went missing. Science, science, science. Yeah, you're just sat there. Let's get you to go and survey that one, and then we'll move you off down on this side. That should be fine. So our fleet is kind of at max strength.
Construction complete.
Our governor's gained new skills. I forget we even had a governor. I always forget to check on the planets, but yeah, it's a governor per system now, not per planet. So if we look on any of these planets, they all have the same governor, who gives us some clearance blocker cost reduction and time reduction, build speed increase. Edic, monolithic. Kibin 8 is uninhabited and indeed uninhabitable, but not unvisited. Its surface is littered with tall cenotaphs carved from some mineral not native to the planet, evidently placed here by some aristocratically inclined spacefaring race. The monolith's flowing lines definitely chart a history so fantastical that it must surely be fictional. That's quite a fair bit of engineering research we've just gained there, so that's pretty cool. Personally subscribe for my Minecraft tutorials. You're French and you help me a lot understanding English. I do try to speak very clearly. I've actually got quite a lot of German viewers. I think my biggest viewership by far, of course, is American, because most English-speaking channels have more American viewers than anybody else. Then it's the English. Then it's Germany, but I think France may well be sort of fourth on the list. But yeah, I do get quite a few people from Europe who sort of watch my videos because they find me relatively easy to understand, and I do try to be as clear as possible. And for most people, because I'm from the centre of England, my accent isn't too bad, and people mainly understand what I am saying. And I appreciate that not, EU isn't, EU4 isn't for everyone, strategy games aren't for everyone, and but I'm just kind of done with Minecraft. I go back and play it every now and then, from time to time, but I don't want to be another Minecraft channel. There are plenty of them out there, and I don't want to get stuck in that corner. Sometimes I mumble, sometimes I'm not easy to understand, but I often do my best. So, we've got the... Right, what we need to do here with this is to just go and upgrade this to a starport as quick as possible, and then we're going to start chucking defense platforms on it. Let's go back over here and finish building those mining stations, because we really need that energy. It'll be better once we've finished this colony, but that's going to take a while.
Technological acquisition successful.
And we've got coil guns. Very nice. Let's go ahead and get that Corvette build speed and cheaper cost. We should be able to upgrade the fleet. It's going to cost us 100 minerals. We've actually got a lot of minerals right now. So what can we build here on the surface?
Ship augmentations completed.
So the problem I've got at the moment is I don't really want to... build too many more pops, because then we're going to be spending extra energy in maintaining them. But we probably should do. Our society research is pants, so let's go ahead and work on that. And yes, I know we're in negative energy, but hopefully that'll get sorted.
System survey complete. System survey complete.
Let me just research that one and I'll read that question again. Is there ever a reason to build a mining station on A2? Minerals or energy? Well, it depends. If you build a mining station on energy, there's no energy cost. So a mining station costs 1 energy. But it doesn't cost any energy if you build it on energy. So if I build a mining station on 2 minerals, it'll cost me 1 energy for 2 minerals, which is not a great trade. If I build a mining station on 2 energy, I'll get a straight up net gain of 2 energy. So, you know, it is worth having. But this is why I always try to look for systems that have, you know, 4 energy or 3 energy or minerals on one single place, because obviously you're also having to build less mining stations, which means less maintenance and less initial cost as well. We've got a science ship that's done its thing. Let's go ahead and survey this system. Yeah, you should. I mean, obviously energy stations, you still have to pay the, you know, the 100 minerals to build the energy station, but there's no maintenance cost. If I can go and find some, let's just deal with this first. The 489 researcher 2 has recovered an elongated metal box from the surface of Kibin 10A. Clusters of small perforations on 5 sides lead science officer Sofont CO7 to believe it's not a container, but some sort of aerosol dispersal device. Initial tests seem to confirm their suspicions as traces of aromatics still emanate from the object. A special project has been issued to confirm whether this might be an information carrying device constructed by some alien race communicating primarily through the secretion and reception of atmosphere-borne chemical compounds and smells. So okay, let's go in and do that study. We've also got some aliens there that we can research, so let's go ahead and do that. So if we go ahead and find some places here, so for example we've got this mining station, and they might have changed it actually. They might have actually changed the way that they work. Right, so this is a mining station here. This is a mining station on the minerals, and if I mouse over there, you can see it says upkeep of 1. Now, if I find this mining station, this is the one on the energy, and this one doesn't have any upkeep. So no upkeep on energy mining stations, but there is upkeep on mineral mining stations. So mineral mining stations, you are potentially trading energy for minerals, but energy stations are always worth building pretty much. So we're still
Special project
building
complete.
that starbase. The box is indeed a document of sorts. Science Officer Sofont C07 admits that they had been hoping for a historical record or some other kind of codex significant to whatever culture left it behind, but they were disappointed. The true nature of the aromatic box seems to be a collection of fairly short narratives which, going by the rapid changes in odour towards the end of each sequence, are intended to surprise or be interpreted as comedic. The techniques used to store the and reproduce specific smells is of some interest, but the tales it tells are not. The crew of the 489 Researcher 2 are left with the uncomfortable feeling that they have unwittingly become intimately familiar with what certain gaseous byproducts of alien digestion smells like. However, Sofont C07 is unwilling to speculate as to why the box was dumped on this frozen hellscape of a planet. How do robots have a sense of smell? Yeah, I mean, Bill, I tend to leave anything with 2 minerals until last, but I mean, even something that gives you 1 energy is worth building a station.
Anomalous surface variable detected.
You spend 100 minerals to get it, but once you've got it, it's 1 energy. Sensors reporting a number of possible points of interest.
Surface variable
okay, leave that one be. Oh dear. Too many. Right, research that one. Too many pop-ups. Too many pop-ups. So we're definitely getting all of those. Not a problem. The fleet is now 1.3k. Now we've upgraded. Very nice. This science ship has finished that. So let's get you down to survey that system. Where are all 3 science ships down here at the moment? We're supposed to have one up here doing this. Once you finish researching that anomaly, I'm sending... Right. You're working... Right, I'm going to get confused, so I'll just leave it to do its thing. You're going to go ahead and... You are building the mining stations. So why does it say... Why is there a mining station there that we cannot build? Because you're currently already building it. Oh, I've got 2 construction ships here. That makes sense.
Special project complete.
Okay, build a research station then. Void clouds. An investigation into a particular cluster of debris and space dust has yielded surprising results. In this particular cloud, bristling with powerful charge of unknown origin, is no business exhibiting simple reflexive actions, let alone movements with purpose, yet it does. There is something undeniably ominous about the hazy subject of relayed video feeds. Perhaps there are things in the universe we should not tangle with. Let's just watch it, but not interfere with it.
Situation log
This
adjusted.
gives us the cloud study. 82 months. That's quite some time, but we'll do it. So these are basically the special project
complete.
for the void clouds, which are these guys that are down here. And until we get into mid-game, you need more minerals and energy. Yeah, exactly.
Anomalous surface variable detected. Construction complete.
I find in a lot of games that I have a surplus of energy credits. In fact, in my last game, I was constantly hitting the cap to the point where I was just using it to clear any tile blocker I could find, and even found one of the traders that let me trade, you know, 20 energy credits for 10 minerals every month. And it was better to give away 20 energy credits and gain 10 minerals, because you need minerals for building ships and building buildings and, you know, building outposts and everything else. But yeah, towards the end game, and particularly if you're doing a lot of colonizing, that's when you start to need the energy credits. Sensors report a shipwreck of unidentified origin. I'm quite hoping that I get the... We haven't had many pirates around, but I'm quite hoping that I get the event chain... just said about pirates. I'm quite hoping that I get the event chain that gives me the free cruiser or the free battleship, because that's normally quite good. A small group of organic subunits, apparently criminal outcasts, have somehow infiltrated and established themselves in I-4 system close to our borders. They seem intent on raiding our territory, perhaps gambling as organics are wont to do. What? On the mistaken notion that they are too insignificant to warrant an armed response from us. So I-4 is up here somewhere. There. It's always the one just outside of where your bases are. We are going to get the fleet over here. It will take them a little while to get there. Now, of course, we've just undocked, so that now costs us a little bit more. So we don't have to worry about these guys grabbing this one, because they can't get to it. They don't have a hyperlane that links them to it. 42 years and 3 days. A closer scan of the debris around LA4138 has led to the discovery that an art-like capsule containing an atomic clock that measures time with unparalleled precision. It has a frequency uncertainty so low that it'll be another 879 million years before it gains a single second, and it is counting down to a date 42 years and 3 days away. The capsule holds no clues as to what this date signifies or who the owners are, but it seems as though someone out there has lost track of time. Keep an eye on it, or it's a bomb, destroy it. Let's keep an eye on it. That station has now been built. We've got quite a bit of stuff here. Let's go ahead and... requires colonised planet or a trader enclave. That's unfortunate. Well, we definitely want to get a shipyard. We definitely want to get a gun battery. And let's go ahead and get... well, what do we want to get here? Give it some extra weapons range, and then what we'll do is we'll go and put some defense platforms in, which we can afford to do. So let's get at least 3, because this is going to be our sort of way to stop these guys getting in, hopefully. So it is going to cost us some energy, but that's fine. We've got a decent amount from here. That'll be finished at some point. We'll also go ahead
complete.
and grab those energy credits as well. That'll sort of even us out. Are there any more that we can grab easily? Not that I can see. The problem is, of course, building an outpost also costs maintenance as well. They have upkeep. Our crew aboard the 489 Researcher 3 report that in Thorby's shipwreck appears to have been the result of an unexpected geomagnetic solar storm. The supply ship suffered from a complete loss of life support systems and sustained inoperable damage, drifting until it entered in Thorby's gravity well. There are no survivors. The ship's cargo hold does indeed contain a notable amount of minerals, however. The captain of the 489 Researcher 3 cautious that the construction indicates a Plex Corodian design. It is highly likely that these minerals belong to the Plex Corodian Empire, and they may be displeased should we lay claim to their shipment. Well, of course we're going to lay claim to their shipment because they're organics and we can't have any good relationships with them anyway, so let's take their stuff. It might be nice getting down here. We've received a communication from previously unknown spacefaring empire that called themselves the Galactic Igarian Mandate. They claim to have learned of our existence by listening in to the communications of another empire that we were in contact with. Excellent. And of course we can't have relations with you. You're all the way over there. Fantastic. That might be a good system to grab. It's not really a... I guess it is a choke point. If there's no way in here, then that would be the choke point in from there, which means we don't need to build a station down here in Ilex. So that might not be a bad idea. One of you is busy, one of you is not. Let's get, well, neither of you are busy really. Let's get you down here, and we'll just move you down there for now, but we will grab this. So if we go and have a look at an outpost. These should... You can get defences straight on the outpost. You don't need to upgrade it to a starbase. But yeah, they do cost some maintenance. I'm sure they do. You've closed your borders to us, which is fine. What have we got over here? Yeah, let's definitely go ahead and get a mining station there. Definitely want to try and get any extra energy credits that we can at the moment. Science ships are all busy. Could also go and get the 2 energy credits there as well. Ideally, we want to connect everything up, but you know, a little bit at a time. We do what we can. We do want to try and get some
system survey complete.
More units in these so we can upgrade the planetary administration, because we need 5 pops. We don't have 5 pops. Although we need to be able to clear these quicksand basins. That'll help. Well, let's go and finish this off, because at least now we get the Ascension perk. So let's decide what Ascension perk we want. Nihilistic Acquisition unlocks raiding bombardment stance, which in turn allows us to abduct pops from besieged planets and resettle onto our own worlds. Completely pointless unless we find other robot life forms. Interstellar Dominion. Interstellar Dominion, the stars beckon and we follow, so that's basically cheaper starbase influence cost and cheaper claim cost. Technological Ascendancy, which is 10% research speed. 33% clear tile blocker cost, which is nice. Imperial Prerogative, another 5 core sector systems. See, that would be really nice, but I don't think we need it straight away. Executive Vigor, not really bothered about the edicts. Or leader cap and level cap and leader capacity. I think for us, we just get that research speed. I think that's just the all-round best one for us right now. But we do need to sort out these problems with the energy. Science ships all seem to have finished their thing. So, yeah, well, what supply ship? I didn't have your supply ship. You're going to go and survey that system. And when you finish down here, so this survey ship, you're going to carry on surveying all of this stuff. When you finish with this one, you are taking a long time, aren't you? You're probably surveying that. Right, what's just happened here? Hostile fleet. Are these the pirates? Did we just... Yeah, these are where the pirates are. That's fine. I'd almost forgotten that I'd sent the military up here. That's fine. We'll be able to clear these guys out really quickly. There. Oh, no, there they go. We didn't even lose a ship. Excellent. Pirate station raided. Gives us 180 minerals and 100 energy. And L-Gate Insight gained 1. Aside from various stolen resources, the module also contained an ancient datapad with partial schematics for what appeared to be a subspace gateway. There are no records of where the pirates obtained this mysterious datapad, but it has furthered our understanding of how the Galactic Gateway Network functions.
Anomalous surface variable detected.
Let's go ahead and research that. Strong energy emissions of an unknown origin make this asteroid stand out from the rest of its peers in this crowded asteroid field. We do have special projects there to research. Let's get you guys back to repair, because you did take some damage. You're actually going to go and repair over there. I'm fine with that for now, I think. What is set as your home station, though? Yeah, that is our home base. That is your home station. I don't know why you're going to the other one, but fine, whatever. So we do need to get a science ship up there. Now, where was I? I was going to send a science ship up for some reason. Yeah, because I want to survey the rest of these things up here. So we will have a science ship moving that way shortly. We do need to build an army, but I don't really want to rush that. We can't upgrade anything here. If I was to go ahead and build the power plant,
surface variable detected.
I think if I build the power plant, we would lose. Yeah, we'd lose the minerals. We'd lose 2 minerals to gain 2 more energy. But we're doing all right with minerals, and do you know what? I think it's worthwhile doing it. I think we just need the energy. Somewhere beneath. Oh, that's going to take ages. We'll leave that one be for now. We'll leave it be until we've got a better scientist. Who's our best scientist? You. Yeah, you're our best scientist, and you'd still take practically forever. Where's our construction ship? Did you get over there? You did. Let me move you over here then and grab a mining station there. Exotic radiation. This particular asteroid is an extrasolar capture. It appears to have been washed by some kind of exotic radiation as it plummeted through the interstellar space before finally settling in the Theram system. The original source of this radiation remains unknown, but the 489 researcher has been able to pick up a wealth of physics data by studying the asteroid's energy emissions. I'd hardly call 67 researcher wealth, but fine, whatever. Would like some more fleet. I mean, we've got a naval capacity of 27, but my fleet limit's only 20. It would be nice if that was a little bit higher. Still losing energy, but we are still working on the colony there, so that's understandable. Yeah, a lot of space to explore here. We're getting close to these guys' borders. We don't necessarily want to get too close to them. But yeah, I'm certainly glad that I'm building this up with these defense platforms, because they're probably going to be our first. They're probably going to be our first target. We can't get diplomacy with them, so we can't even declare rivalries or anything like that.
System survey complete.
So we could insult them, but what's the point? Makes no difference whatsoever. Science ship is finished down there. That's a nice system, actually. 12 minerals. But
anomalous surface variable detected.
This is the science ship that we're going to bring up here. So let's go and have you research those projects there. Let's also research that. So that's quite a difficult one. Map the Stars Edict is now done. We've still got plenty of influence left, so let's go ahead and run that again. Another 12 years of faster exploration, or faster surveying. So you're going to get that one. That's a level 2.
Planetary surface settlement established.
Okay, finally. Now we're making some energy credits again. Technology researched. Cheaper corvettes. What do we want to get here? Let's get the engineering facility. Nice and cheap. So we can start building some pops on this world because we definitely want energy. So let's go ahead and build a power plant, build a pop. And we want to... oh, we can't clear that yet. It's a mountain range. Can't clear it yet, but we will be able to. The order finished. So you guys are repairing up. That is fine.
Construction complete.
FTL impact. A massive crater on Vorsham 4A appears to be the result of a collision with a starship. From the size of the crater, we suspect that a ship exiting a hyperlane at maximum velocity rammed the moon for reasons unknown roughly 10,000 years ago. The 489 Researcher 2 has picked up residual substance echoes near the crash site, reminiscent of a collapsed hyperarticulate field, but as the ship itself disintegrated on impact, the theory cannot be verified. Gives us some more physics research though, so that is good. Science ship, you have done with that. You are level 5, you're our highest scientist. Let's get you over and research the anomalies in that system. You've got to go the long way round because you need to avoid this thing here.
System survey complete.
But that's fine. You finish that system survey. Let's get you surveying this one then. We've still got a few down here that we need to get, but all that should be fine. Anything that we want to get on this planet. Let's get some more energy. Let's build a pop. And let's build a power plant. We really need upgraded power plants because if we build a power plant on an empty tile, we get +2 energy from the power plant and the pop consumes 1. So it's only a net gain of 1 energy. Which is pretty terrible. Right, construction ship. So I was going to go and expand out in this direction. So let's go ahead and build the outpost there. And we'll definitely want to come and grab Badakan. Because that is a choke point. So we can put a station there. And then all of this is basically blocked behind that station and that station. Assuming that you can't get in from here, which I don't think anybody can.
Construction complete.
So that means we don't need to have like 30 space stations to try and defend all of our territory. We just build a couple and really beef them up. This construction ship has finished that. We do want to get that. If we grab that, it stops pirates from spawning there, so it's worth having. Let's go ahead and build an outpost there.
Construction complete.
Yeah, I really need the tech that lets us have better... I need the tech that lets us have better energy gain. So we need a lot of L-gate insights to use these things.
Construction complete.
So you've done that one. That's a good world. It's a desert world with 19. Couple of energy places there, but let's go straight down and grab this one, and then we can grab all the energy credits that are here, and we can build that station up, and then everything else behind that station is protected, assuming nobody gets past the station, of course. But you know, we do what we can. So how are these guys doing? They've got a fair few stations around. Their capital is here. So to get that, we'd have to literally go through 1, 2, 3, 4 of their systems. It's a long way through. We'd have to take them bit by bit, I think, realistically. Yeah, this station is getting beefed up with defensive platforms. I think I might even go up to like the full 6 if we can afford to do it. Would like to deal with these guys. It's going to be a long time before we have the fleet power to deal with that. How are science ships doing? They're all getting on with something, that's fine.
Construction complete.
Yeah, there are ships. You're working on the outpost.
Construction complete.
I do want to get these minerals and the science and everything else. So do I just want to go ahead here and grab those research stations? We're gonna have a deficit of energy, but we need the tech. Dimensional Pocket, the 489 Researcher 2 never made it all the way to 50 KTS-8 to study the anomalies surrounding it. The ship, along with the science officer Sophont C07 and crew, blinked out of existence as it was navigating a debris field. Do we still have all of our science ships? It's like we do. Sophont C07 reports that they found themselves briefly in some extra-dimensional space. External viewpoints revealed that they were surrounded by countless ships of alien design, suspended in a seemingly endless void. Before the crew could get their bearings, the vision abruptly faded and they found themselves back in regular space. However, roughly half the crew are missing. Science Officer Sophont C07 speculates that they may have been selectively trapped by some unknown mechanism in that strange space. But we do gain some experience from it. So that's whatever that anomaly was down there. You're still only level 5, so doing that will take a while. So let's get you surveying this stuff up here at the top.
System survey complete.
There's another system survey done. So we're sending a guy up. Let's keep moving you in towards these guys and we'll see what you've got, and then we'll work our way down. Dimensional Drift. The missing members of the 489 Researcher 2's crew, thought lost to the Dimensional Rift, have reappeared. They hailed us from aboard an unknown vessel, not entirely dissimilar to our own science ships, idling close to where the 489 Researcher 2 originally experienced the dimensional disturbance. They claim to remember nothing of their time outside our dimension, aside from a vague awareness of having been away for some time. They wish for nothing but to return to the surface under Science Officer Sophont C07 and intend to surrender their ship to the authorities. Very well. Gain a science ship. Or they turn hostile. Do we want another science ship? I don't think we need another science ship. We'll take it for now. Where is it? It's down there. We don't have a scientist for it. So what we'll do, we'll recruit another scientist, because we can still have one more leader. Leader experience gain, research speed in industry, or research speed. Let's get that guy that's just got a flat +5 research speed for a moment. Let me pause, make this easier. So who here's not doing anything particularly quickly? I mean, they're all quite quick because of their level, I suppose. You're almost done. If I was to replace you with this guy, yeah, it's actually slightly faster. So now I can give you this already level 3 guy, and you are going to go to the homeworld, and we will get you to assist research there. Not too sure how much difference it'll make, but we'll do it anyway. Construction ship. Yes, please. Go ahead and get me a mining station on that one, and follow it up with a mining station on that one. I do love there's some pretty interesting stuff in this. I mean, that is 9 research in one place. 9 research in one place. Debris analysed. That's some good free stuff right there. Right, you should be now going up here and surveying all this stuff.
Technological acquisition successful.
And we can now clear deserts. Let's go and get the these ones. It's not the same ones that the same option that was there before, but it will help out. I really do want to build more defences at that station, but we just don't have the energy right now. Some real energy problems going on. You will have a pop down there at some point, which will help. We won't be able to clear any of these ones, so that's not useful. Let's go ahead and just do this then. We'll build a pop, and we'll build a power plant, That'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do another one down here. Build a power plant. It'll only give us a net gain of 1 for each, but it'll mean we can upgrade the to a planetary administration. So it'll be worth doing, probably.
Technological acquisition successful.
There's the engineering facility. So machine modification points. Robo-modding, so it's basically the same as gene splicing but for the robots. Starbase to starholds, flak batteries, L-gate insights. They take a long time to research though. Afterburners, not bad. We've already got some research done on that, so that's not a terrible one to do. Let's go and start working on that. Again, I really wish I could build the fleet up a little bit more. If I could just take this system, taking this system would be cool, because again, that still means we've got like it does kind of make that station a little bit useless. Although it is a shipyard, so it's a good base to attack from. But if we can grab this system here, it's a trinary system. There's a fair bit of energy. They're currently colonising planets down here as well.
Construction complete.
Can we see what sort of planet that is? No, we can't. Okay. But it would be nice to get in there and do something. You've got all of those research stations. Is there anywhere we could grab that would be a significant amount more energy? I guess we could go and get that probably. Possible net gain. You've still got one more to build, and we're definitely going to build a research station. It's one station for 9 research.
Special project complete.
Void unclouded. The void clouds may be among the oldest entities in the universe. They seem to have originated just a scant few billion years after the matter as we know it first appeared. The tremendous forces of the young cosmos making something out of nothing. They would have been stars once, but were not. Explaining their apparent animal intelligence is more difficult, but the answer might lie in the abnormally strong electromagnetic fields that keep them together, another product of their primordial beginnings. It is not inconceivable that given enough time, the circulation of its strange stardust and gravitic fields aligned in a flexible approximation of neural pathways or computational circuits. Moreover, the clouds seem to be receiving impulses from one another. It's not outright communicating light years apart. Quantum entanglement is suspected to play a role in this phenomenon. They will not stand in our way, damage to void clouds plus 33%, or plus 10% tile physics output. I think we're going to have the damage to void clouds, because we're going to have to deal with these guys at some point. But yeah, because our fleets are really, really weak against them right now. We can upgrade buildings here on the surface. Apparently.
Construction complete.
We can upgrade the science ones. It will cost us a little bit more. These are the wrong buildings to be using, by the way, but they're better than nothing. So let's go ahead and just upgrade them anyway. It will cost us some energy, but that's fine.
System survey complete.
You can't have
Anomalous
too much
surface
science.
detected.
Oh, okay. Right. You research that. You have researched that, so go and survey that system. You are orbiting the home planet. So, if you wouldn't mind assisting research. Okay. So, hopefully this will speed up some of our research rates. This construction ship isn't doing anything. I would very much like it if you went and got the mining station there and then go and build a research station. And that's a fairly good system. Not a lot of energy, but 12 minerals is decent. It's one of those asteroid belts. I think I might be safe getting those last 2 minerals, but I'm not in a rush to get them. We're not short of minerals. Like I said, the one I had in my multiplayer game, the one I had in my multiplayer game had only 2 energy and it had 36 minerals. Hostile fleets. This is amoebas again. Now, they're not really my problem. So we could just leave them well alone. Debris field. The strong gravity well of Fleo 2 has pulled a massive amount of space debris, which has formed a dense layer around parts of the gas giant. Excuse me. Most of it appears to be wreckage from a series of space battles fought in a system several millennia ago. Scavengers have already scoured the debris, valuable technologies and artifacts, but the mining station should be able to recycle the material. Okay. So do we want to deal with these amoebas? I guess it's some experience for our admiral. Let's get the fleet down here. It's a long way for them to travel, but sure, let's go ahead and do it. So you've moved back over here now. That's relatively safe. So we'll skirt around them and go and survey that system.
System survey complete.
You've finished that one. Let's go and do the black hole. I haven't run into any Leviathans yet, which I'm happy about. These defense platforms are really cheap, so let's just go ahead and max it out. Don't want to take any chances with these guys. So you're working on that. Yeah, I think this is the end of the line there. So that's
system survey complete.
System survey done. Okay, go ahead and work on that one. Hopefully nothing too hostile up here. So yeah, we've actually got a decent amount of minerals and energy credits right now. We should certainly keep building up our pops where we can. What could we build here that would be useful for us? I think just more power plants. We can now clear jungle tiles, so let's go ahead and do that. Unfortunately, we can't clear the tiles that would be the most use to us, but that's fine. Science ship, that was quick. I suppose it is a black hole. There's usually only one thing in the black hole system, which is, oddly enough, the black hole. I also like that every system has some sort of modifier, some sort of phenomena that affects ships within the system. It's one of the things that I do like.
Anomalous surface variable detected.
The atmospheric patterns highly atypical for a gas giant. Well, that's fine. We can go and work on that. Seems like a fairly quick one. We've still got this level 8 anomaly down here, but our best scientist is a level 5. Yeah, I think the only way these guys can get into my space is through this lane. Because if they wanted to get in down here, they've got to literally go through all the way around. I don't think they can get in through here, so they've got to go through this guy, or possibly both. So that works out quite good for us. Let's go and survey this. We'll try and get to that one if we can. We might not manage it. You need to do this one. What we had assumed was an abnormally small gas giant is, in fact, not. Beneath the deceptive cover of thick dust swirling in the upper atmosphere lies a regular planet. A barren planet, but a planet nonetheless. It has proven quite embarrassing to the astronomical community on XT 48900. Remarkable. Revealed to be a barren planet. Where is this one? So, we can't do anything with it anyway. 0 habitability. It's a barren planet. It does have a moon. The moon might have something.
Construction
so
complete.
Here, that's fine. We have finished. What did we just research? Shields. Improved deflectors. Excellent. So, what do we want to work on now? Basic combat roles could be very useful. Energy storage capacity and power plant 2. That's what we need. More than anything else, that's what we need. Let's go ahead and upgrade the ships. 100 minerals, quite cheap. Currently 1.4k. So let's see what we go up to. Did I not tell you to survey that system? I would like to get the mining station. It's only a single mining station for 4 energy. I wonder about this one. No, 2 separate mining stations, but it would be nice to get that gateway. Requires activation by upgrading the gateway, and requires the gateway activation technology.
Planetary alert. Tile blocker expunged.
But it is probably worth grabbing at some point. What about this one down here? Yeah, again, 2 and 2. Prefer somewhere that was a bit better. While you're here, why don't you go ahead and get that last mining station for those minerals? You might as well. Well, the upgrading's done. Didn't really make a lot of difference. We can go and upgrade the defense platforms though. So we've got
ship augmentations completed.
1.8 defense there now. Okay, let's go ahead and survey that. I don't think I'm quite ready to go to war with them yet. We're still equivalent. Their fleet power is actually
anomalous
inferior.
Surface variable detected.
Their naval capacity... let's research that one. Their naval capacity is superior, but their fleet power is inferior. So they can have more ships than us, but they don't have more ships than us. I could start a second fleet. There's no reason why we can't do that. Let's go ahead and get the fleet manager. Let's go ahead and create a new fleet. And let's go
ship augmentations completed.
Give it a home base of our main home. Add ship design to the fleet, corvette. And let's go for... Well, we can get 9.
Construction
basically
complete.
All of our money. Let's go for 8 for now. We'll work on that fleet there. So the construction ships aren't going to do too much for now. We could do with some more physics research.
Acquisition successful.
Let's go ahead and grab a research station there because we do need to grab it. And you can go up here and build the research stations there. So this is the Cohex machine fleet. We have, what did we just finish researching? Afterburners, excellent. So, fleet command limit plus 10. Unlocks destroyers. Yes. And then we can merge these two fleets together. No, that's fleet command limit, not naval capacity. But we can merge it together into one fleet and we'll be able to build destroyers as well, so that'll help. Volton Colony. It's been a while since we've had one of these events. Several large perfectly circular lakes on the surface of Elderac 3A were caused by a series of massive antimatter explosions several million years ago. This moon was inhabited by the Voltum at that point, and the craters are all clustered in the region that housed their largest planetary settlements. Orbital bombardment has been ruled out by the science staff on the 489 researcher, leading us to believe that these explosions were triggered by someone or something on the ground. Issues special project.
Situation log adjusted.
Needs one science ship in orbit. If you wouldn't mind researching that, and then you can... why won't you let me... Why are you doing weird stuff?
Anomalous surface variable detected.
Oh, lots of weird stuff going on. Right, leave that be for now. Right. You're researching that. After that, I want you to survey the system. There we go, survey system, that's what I wanted. During its survey of SA093937, the 489 Research 3 discovered a previously unknown strategic resource dubbed Garanthium ore. It can be refined into a metal that is both malleable and durable. This ore would make an excellent material for use in the construction of ships. While we do not yet possess the means to extract this resource, we should seriously consider establishing control over the system for future exploitation. So where is this? This is right the way down here, and as much as I'd love to grab that, we would pretty much be pissing in our neighbour's pond. And I'm not necessarily sure that that is wise. Although, again, it's a good little choke point. But probably not the best one for us right now. We don't want to extend, we don't want to overextend.
Construction complete.
I'm a little bit disappointed that we don't have many or any resources of our own. This is another change in the Distant Stars expansion, actually. You actually have you're actually able to see
survey complete.
You're actually able to see all of the resources, the strategic resources, even if you don't have the technology to mine them. So it helps you sort of pick and choose which are the best systems to grab. So you have done that, that, and that. Yeah, that's a massively difficult anomaly. So you go down and survey that system. You finish. We might as well survey this one just before they colonise it and like kick us out. But we'll have a look. You're working on that. So everybody's busy. These fleets are all sort of joining up from sort of two bases. That's fine. Like both shipyards building the ships towards them. How's our tropical world doing here? Yeah, shame I can't clear that. This one, do we have our 5 pops yet? We don't, but we're working on it. We're working on this one as well. So we are gaining some more energy. It's not a great amount coming in, but it'll do. Oh, more pirates. A small group of organic subunits. These guys are in Shulmak. Where is Shulmak?
Technological acquisition successful.
Over here. Unfortunately, our fleet is kind of like a long way away right now. In fact, no, it isn't. Our main fleet is currently here. So let's divert you. I was moving these guys off because we were going to go and deal with those amoebas. But we'll deal with these guys first and get them an upgrade. We can now clear those tile blockers. We also want to be able to clear these quicksand basins, so let's work on that. So that means we can now go in here and we can clear none of the useful ones. No, we'll leave those for now. The ones I want to clear are the ones, these ones here that have energy on them. Archaeological project completed. The archaeologists on Eldorak 3A have managed to recover an intact memory core from a terminal inside a crumbling medical facility. It contains some interesting statistics, such as the average natural Volton lifespan, roughly 270 years, and a list of their most common diseases. Gives us another artifact. I think we now only have one left to find. Yep, appears that we do. Can we actually see where it is? Presumably in some sort of system that we haven't yet researched. But we've researched all of these, so I don't know.
System survey complete.
Maybe they just spawn as you know, survey them randomly. Well, I guess we come down here now. Not too bothered about taking that. They've got a couple of these alligators.
Construction
actually.
Complete.
Strange that I don't have any of my own. You may as well build the mining station. Again, we're a little bit short on energy. But it will level out at some point.
Construction complete.
What about this one? That's 4 energy. That's worth grabbing for 4 energy on its own. So we can certainly send a construction ship up there. We have got one that's doing not a lot. But I did say that I wanted the research stations. That was the whole point of getting the thing there in the first place. And then we'll move up and grab this one for 4 energy. Right. Your fleet is relatively small. This should be relatively
Construction complete.
quickly dealt with. Corvettes will just really rip them apart. Now we're going after the station. And the station's down. All we got from that was some minerals and stuff.
Construction
That's fine.
complete.
So you guys go back and repair. And we can pick up a new tradition. Now, I'm sorely tempted to just go straight down the supremacy route. I mean, we are an exterminator. Picking that up will instantly give us an extra 2 starbase capacity, and the upgrade cost will be reduced by 20%. And then we can get shipyard build speed and upgrade cost reduced. Unrest doesn't really make any difference. Army damage increased. Hull fleet command limit increased by 20 and fire rate increased by 10%. So yeah, I think we've got to go supremacy or possibly expansion. Starbase influence cost, starbase upkeep. Security. Purged pop-out source. Resettlement cost. A lot of it not that useful. No, it's got to be Supremacy. Supremacy is easily the best one for us here. Easily. Construction ship. What were you doing? Not an awful lot. We'll just keep you around there for now. Would like to get some of these other anomalies researched once we have a science ship that's a little less busy. You're working on that one.
System survey
If you just
complete.
had one more level, it'd be better. Go and survey that one. You're not quite close to leveling up, unfortunately. Strategic resource discovered during its survey of Elderax 10 even. The 489 researcher discovered a previously unknown strategic resource dubbed urantic crystals. These crystals have rare reflective properties that preliminary scans indicate would greatly enhance the power output of energy weapons. While we do not yet possess the means to extract this resource, we should seriously consider establishing control over this system for future expansion. And this is where? Actually, this one is actually quite close to us. It's near our own borders, so that's a good one. It's one of the ones we want to have.
Technological acquisition successful.
We have just researched the... This is good. Power plant 2, which is what we wanted. Now what we could do is we could go straight into cold fusion power, which will unlock the next rank of power plants, which is really good. You need to go up there and survey that last system. All of a sudden we can upgrade all of these energy producing buildings. That's just burnt through a lot of minerals, but that should solve our energy problems for the next while. So that construction ship's not doing anything. This construction ship is doing something. We need to upgrade our fleets, because we've got better shields now. It's going to cost 100 minerals to upgrade both of them, so we will wait on that one. As we've still got that other science ship that we randomly gained from prototype class. Do we have these on our other science ships? Researcher class. No, they do have weapons damage and damage to void. I guess they're just our modifiers. I was just checking, I didn't know whether it was some like really special ship. One thing I have noticed, I don't know whether this happened in Stellaris version 2 or the Distant Stars expansion. I assume it was Stellaris version 2. But in the ship designer, all you can do now is your ships and your defense platforms. You can no longer modify your science ships or transports or colony ships or anything else. So all your civilian ships now are just standard, which is fine, because to be honest, I always used to forget to upgrade my civilian ships. So you're being repaired. Construction ship, you are now
anomalous surface variable detected.
By chance we stumbled upon the faint signal during the survey of this moon. The source appears to be a small object in orbit. The signal contains no message. Could it be a distress transponder? Yep, research that. So you're going to go over and... Now what did I say would have been a good system to grab? I was sure there was somewhere that I was going to go and expand upon. Oh no, we were going to go over here and get this one, weren't we? So let's go and work on that one. This science ship has finished here, so you can just keep working your way down. I'm actually doing quite well in terms of our surveying, to be honest. The fleet's been fully repaired. We can also afford to get the fleet upgraded. So it's currently 1.4k. This fleet has been fully built. Let's get you repaired as well, but upgraded.
Ship augmentations completed.
So it's now 1.5k.
Ship augmentations completed.
Let's get you down here and we'll try and deal with those amoebas. We've encountered some form of alien vessels in the Ebrixinder system. I don't know, whatever. These strange objects have been flagged as Samic aliens until we can learn more about them. Let's go ahead and It's only 2 months. Let's investigate them, find out who they are, where they are. Let's take these guys. Let's get this secondary fleet up here for now. They don't have a leader. We don't need one right away. But let's just go and change that home base on that fleet to that station there. Ancient life pod. An abandoned life pod was detected in close orbit to Zimatulon 2C. It is covered in scorch marks, presumably from when the pod's mothership exploded, and preliminary scans suggest it was built more than 5,000 years ago. The crew of the 489 Researcher 2 managed to open the pod, revealing a withered remains of a reptilian alien clad in a resplendent uniform. Clutched in one of its claws was a small picture of another individual from the same race, possibly a mate or revered leader. Interesting. It just gives us some research. So yeah, that is a dead end up there, which is good for us, really. How are things doing here? We can't upgrade this yet. Can't upgrade any of the buildings until we've upgraded the deployment post to a planetary base, whatever they call it. What is it? Administrative array. After successfully translating the language, okay, so we've now met these guys. So whereabouts are you? You guys are all the way down here. Now that's going to block our ability to... We're actually in their territory. So this will push us out now. They'll close their borders in a second. Let's just try and get you out of there before they close the borders, because as soon as they close the borders, you'll just go missing in action. We're not going to get to any of this other stuff down here, so it's kind of pointless. I've got a feeling we won't quite make it out in time anyway.
Anomalous surface variable detected.
Sure, go ahead and research it. Are you going to get out of there in time? Nope. Flip. Just got kicked out. It's fine. We're missing in action, but we'll come back. It's just annoying that we couldn't get out quite quickly enough. Now, I could try and grab one of these systems up here. Again, we'd have to build a long way out to get to one of these systems. We could try and grab a system out this way in an attempt to block some of their expansion off, although they're probably going to have border friction very soon anyway. So these guys may end up going to war with each other. So a science ship is missing. We've got an upgrade we can do here, apparently. So it's telling me... Oh, we're just lacking the minerals, and we can do the planetary administration. Oh, the Volton Virtual Reality Center. Now, didn't we have an event earlier that said that that was to be avoided? Volton engineers at some point built a massive orbital complex near Thermaltake 2B, dedicated to computer research. Strangely, they seem to have ignored the normally popular field of artificial intelligence to focus exclusively on virtual realities and massive computer simulations. Most of the complex has been ruined by weapons fire and micrometeoroids, but what remains is a remarkable condition given the station's age.
Situation log adjusted.
Go to, and if you wouldn't mind researching that project, that should be the end or close to the end of the line for this particular thing. We've almost got enough minerals to go ahead and get this upgraded.
Technological acquisition successful.
Lacking 20 now. We can now remove those other tile blockers. Thank you. Spare parts depot. Not sure what that gives us now. Let's work on it anyway. Yeah, you're working on that one. That is fine. Science ship's still missing. Also fine. Can't do this yet. Lacking 20. We will get 35 now. Let's go and upgrade that. Our energy output should be pretty good. These buildings haven't been upgraded yet, by the way. They are still queued. So we're currently working on this one. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 that still have 5, 6 that still haven't been upgraded yet, because they have to build in order. Hopefully we'll get that science ship back soon. It wasn't my best scientist, but it was one of them. It's one of my level 4 scientists. One of the advantages of playing as robots is you don't just die of old age, so that is a good thing there. So yeah, as this area of space is blocked off, we probably do want to come down. This is probably the best choke point to hold. If we move any further forwards, I mean, we probably will move further forwards, but if we move anywhere else, we've got to hold multiple routes in. So we could build a defensive platform.
Special project complete.
We could build a defensive platform here and here, which would then cut off all this area of space, but it's probably not really worth it. Archaeological project completed. The archaeologists investigating the Volton orbital complex above Zimatulon 2b have stumbled upon an interesting find. They managed to recover a partial copy of what was apparently a fairly popular multi-user virtual reality game enjoyed by billions of Volton across the Empire. Although the game takes place in a fictional and highly satirized version of their contemporary society, it has proved an invaluable source of information on both their language and their customs. Gives us another artifact and 124 research. Now that must surely open up something else. Ah, there we go. The Volton home system located. After intense study of the recovered Volton artifacts, scientists on XT48900 have managed to reduce the exact galactic coordinates of Voltamor, the home system of the ancient Volton civilization. We should launch an expedition to this system before someone else beats us to it. Contact the nearest
situation log adjusted.
So, where are you? You're up here, which is fantastic, because this is an area that nobody else can get to. I am absolutely fine with that. So, as soon as the... What did I just press there? Oh, I hit Alt. Makes everything disappear, because I have it on by default. Which does make the map look quite messy. I admit it's much cleaner with it off, but I like to see where the resources are. I do the same thing in Civilization. So, I'll unpause, because that'll speed things up. We'll let you finish doing your researching over here. Right, our science ship has returned. So let's get you down surveying some of this stuff. In fact, let's go and start researching some of these anomalies. As we've got a couple of science ships that are going to be floating around with not much to do. Let's get them actually it doesn't matter if it takes them a long time to do the anomalies. Let's just let them get it done. So we know where this home system is. We'll go and do it as soon as you
System survey complete.
It's probably going to be a ring world or something, probably. That was quite... See, that
construction complete.
That'd be quite a nice place to take, because it is, again, 10 energy. So that could be useful. Why a defensive platform in VIII but not in Thrish? True. I mean, the thing is, yes, there's only one way in, but defensive platforms are built right in the middle of the system. So whichever way they come in, they're gonna run into it. There's 3 ways in, but only 1 way out, which is the same as having 1 way in but 3 ways out, really. Obviously, if I built it in VIII, then I would be closer, further forward. It would give me more land. But yeah, I could build it there. I could. But I'm thinking about just building something here in Spiker, because that's probably enough just to stop anyone getting into my territory. But yeah, we could build forwards. I don't know. I haven't decided on that.
System
one yet.
survey complete.
Let's go and research that one. If you can build the mining stations there, that would be great. You're working on the anomaly now. We'll let you do the anomaly. Before I end this stream, because I've been going for over 3 hours now and it's 1 AM, I will let us research the homeworld. It's taken 3 hours to do that particular story chain. So let's at least get the research done for it. We're also going after these amoebas. We are a single system away now. So we might as well go and deal with them.
Complete.
And then we can actually research that system as well. While approaching Tugagawa 2A, the 489 researcher suddenly received a glancing hit by several passing mass drive-arounds. The projectiles were billions of years old, and based on their trajectory, they appear to be stray rounds fired from a neighbouring galaxy. After missing their intended target, they continued on their journey for untold millennia until today. The rounds recovered are of an advanced design, despite their incredible age. Gives us some more research. Very nice. You have finished that. Let's get you surveying that system. Is there any event chains that you would do every time, or are they all worth it? Most of the event chains used to be a pain in the arse, and the reason for that was, as I said before, they would often be randomly spread all over the galaxy, and you often couldn't get to them because they were just too far away, and by the time you found them, they were in somebody else's borders, and you often couldn't get access to them. Maybe you could eventually get your science ships to the opposite side of the galaxy, and maybe you could negotiate to get the open borders you required. But the problem with doing that is by the time you got the reward, it was often that late in the game the reward was worthless. Now, at some point, Paradox seemed to have made a change, and I don't know whether this was in version 2 or whether it's something that they've done in Distant Stars, because I know that Distant Stars has changed the way a lot of the anomalies and things work. But what it seems to be now is that these event chains all seem to happen really close to your starting location, so it does seem like you always have access to the areas. You'll notice that every single one of those artifacts that I needed to recover ended up being in a system that wasn't owned by somebody else. It wasn't something that just ended up being here that I couldn't get to anymore. So I think they've changed it to make sure that you can now do them more easily. I would say they are all worth doing. The potential issue with them is they can have random outcomes. So you can do a particular story event one time and get one reward for it. You could do the same story event on another occasion and get a different reward for it. So there is a certain random element to it. There's one event chain that takes ages because you have to keep moving and resettling people around with science ships, and then eventually you have to is it that one? There's basically one that takes ages to do, and you need a level 5 scientist, and you have to spend like 10 years researching a black hole. Now, when you finish researching that black hole, there's a number of different outcomes you can get. Now, the outcome that I had from it once was it gave me a black hole that was in my own territory that gave me 10 physics, 10 society, and 10 engineering research on a single black hole, which was fantastic. I also had the same event happen to me again in a later game that gave the same rewards, but the black hole ended up in somebody else's territory, so I couldn't get to it. And then I've had it happen another time where it gave me some research, but not as much. So, yeah, there is a certain gamble because you never know which particular outcome you're going to get. So we do want to go and research this. You're going to take a while doing that one. We'll get one of the science ships up there to do that as quick as we can. You can do some upgrades now. Anything that gives energy,
construction complete,
we will upgrade. And you know what? We'll go and do the mineral one as well, because why not? You've got that. We probably do want to get... Well, we can't mine it yet anyway. Energy weapon damage is good. What world is that? 13, not great. Oh, here we go. So, the Volton homeworld. The shattered remains, or the shattered remnants of the Volton homeworld revealed that it underwent a massive extinction event 12 million years ago, caused by the detonation of some kind of antimatter device. From the ruins that remain on the planet's surface, we have learned that Volton society experienced a radical ideological shift a century before their extinction. Their new philosophy posited that the entire universe was an artificial reality which all sapient beings had been unwittingly plugged into for the amusement of some higher power. The Volton undertook increasingly radical attempts to forcefully disconnect themselves from this simulation, most of which involved mass suicide. They finally concluded that only the simultaneous disconnection of billions of individuals would destabilize the system enough to grant them freedom. At the agreed upon hour, Volton everywhere killed themselves by any means available. Those who refused to take part in the mass suicide were too few to repopulate the species, and so the Volton faded into obscurity and eventual extinction. Sounds like a suicide cult. And what do we get from it? So 1,392 Unity, 350 of each research types. That's not bad. That's fairly decent. So shipyard build speed. That's probably the best one for us. I mean, the better two are the ones down here, but we need to get through the ones that aren't quite as useful first. But that is fine. Oh, you're not back home yet. You need to repair up. Excellent. Looks like they've got... Now, why haven't they gone in there? I'm guessing they've probably got something... It's the only system they haven't claimed. Same with this one. I'm guessing there's probably some sort of... There's either little here of value, but I don't think that's the case, because the AI tends to claim absolutely everything. So I'd say the only reason they haven't claimed these is there's probably something in them that they can't deal with. Possibly Leviathan or something like that. That would be my my guess. Hopefully these science ships will be done soon, and then we can get them over there and search that debris. That'll be quite useful for us. Nothing going on here in our tropical world. We still can't clear all of these tile blockers yet. We could definitely have ourselves some more science. Let's build a pop. Let's go and research that one.
Technological acquisition successful.
And some more science is done. So that now puts our command limit up. So we can actually merge these two... we can actually merge the two fleets together and make one fleet of 28. I'd like to build some destroyers. I'd also like to get a bigger fleet capacity. Ion thrusters could be useful. Destroyer hull points. Well, we haven't built any destroyers yet. Let's go ahead and get that thrusters for now.
System survey complete.
Right, you've completed that system survey, so let's get you over here and research the projects in that system. And then once you've done that, you can survey the system. Obviously, none of this diplomacy stuff's ever going to apply to me. We haven't found any other robotic empires yet. I don't know if there are any in the game, but if we do find other robotic empires, we can actually have diplomacy with them.
Technological acquisition successful.
It's only biological empires that we can't. Spare parts depot. A large centralized depot that contains spare parts for every currently active machine model in your empire. The use of modular parts when assembling new machines will both streamline the process and make future repairs easier. I can't remember what that is. New research. Okay. Starbase capacity +2 we don't really need. Regenerative hull tissue is nice. +2 naval capacity. I think we'll just get that tile blocker done for now. A microsingularity recently intersected Voltamar 2A, passing straight through the core and emerging on the other side of the moon. The encounter does not seem to have caused any permanent damage, but it has altered the energy output of the planetary core slightly in a way that defies our current scientific models. Further study may be warranted. Okay, so a couple of things that I wanted to check on. First of all... Yes, you see, look at that. We've actually got their planet... Just like that event chain that I did with the black hole, is worth 10, 10 and 10. That's 30 science per month from a single world. So yes, we definitely, without a doubt now, want to go and grab that system there. It's already worth 33 research. So we definitely want to grab that. There was something else that I just... Oh yeah, I was going to go and see if we could build that building and what it actually gives us. No, it's not a building. Is it a module for a station or something? It's not a module. Is it a building? No, I've got no flipping clue what it is then. Might be an upgrade for something, that's quite possible. I really do wish it did a better job of explaining to you what something was. Does it make something cheaper? It's obviously something that's built, because it costs... and I haven't played Stellaris for a while, so there's a few bits and pieces that I don't remember. So it costs 360... it takes 360 days to build, it has upkeep, and it costs minerals. It's planet unique, so it can be built on a planet. So yeah, so now it actually tells me what it does. Robot build speed. So it increases the build speed of my population by 15%. It also produces 2 society and 1 harmony unity point, but you can only build 1 per planet. Okay, that makes sense. And if we built it on somewhere that's already giving us society output... Yeah, there it is. Spare parts depot. That could be useful. We've got plenty of energy, so let's go ahead and get these ones cleared where we can. And then as soon as we have enough... that's not what I wanted to do. As soon as we have enough minerals...
Anomalous surface variable detected.
Briefly detected some unusual energy readings emanating from this moon. Sure, go ahead and do that. So we can afford to do that now. So it won't get rid of the society research, it'll actually add to it. So we'll have 4 society research
Construction
and
complete.
1 unity from that tile. Nice. And obviously we want to build a pop one there, which we can't do right now. I'll try and remember to do that, because we don't want an empty building. Excellent. And yeah, we want to move up there straight away. So there's also... Look at that, we've not even finished researching this place yet. We've not even finished surveying it. And it's already worth 33 science, 10 energy, and 2 minerals. So yeah, that event chain was definitely worth doing. Magnetic reversal. The magnetic field on Volton R4A experienced a complete reversal while it was being observed by the 489 researcher. This rare event has interchanged the positions of the moon's magnetic poles. Fortunately, it was all recorded by the sensors of our ship, providing our scientists with a lot of valuable data. Okay, not too sure what that did. The 489 Researcher 3 finds a disturbing tangle of technology hidden in a deep crater on the asteroid's surface. Evidently, someone has, with rather simple means, managed to stabilise a one-way wormhole, and Science Officer Savant A02 quickly asserts that the asteroid is the exit point. The other end opens somewhere into uncharted space some light years away from a black hole, and small quantities of dark matter are leaking, being siphoned through the wormhole. Whoever set this up seems to have abandoned the operation. Dark matter deposit found. And boy, do I wish I'd have actually looked where that was now. Oh, here. So dark matter. Build mining stations to acquire it. Basically gives us research speed. Now you do need a particular technology to mine it, I believe. If we just select a construction ship, requires dark matter drawing, which is something that we don't have. So unfortunate. You're heading home. You're heading out to go and try and survey that. You're the one that we just spent ages working on the anomaly. There's another anomaly up there that's going to take you ages, so go and work on that one. Let's unpause again, and before I forget, because we do have the minerals now, let's go ahead and build a population on that tile. good. I'm happy with where this is going so far.
Construction complete.
There isn't really anything else that we can work on at the moment. So you've built this, and as much as... I guess we just save up and wait until you've finished surveying this system. 12 mineral... My god, look at this system. 13 energy, 12 minerals, and 33 assorted science, and we still haven't finished yet. There's 10 energy on one system alone, so that's 100...
System survey complete.
One mining station will give us 10 energy. One mining station will give us 10 minerals. So that's well worth it. Yeah, let's do that research there. Yeah, we've got another anomaly here as well, which is probably also going to give us something absolutely disgustingly good. While we are here, we might as well get the mining stations, because there's one mining station that will give us 3 energy. So let's go and grab that. Our energy reserves are not bad at the moment, actually. Really do want to get the naval capacity up, though. These guys still haven't worked their way into there. How's it saying things are? We're still equivalent. That's fine. Atmospheric ecosystem. We have discovered a thriving ecosystem in the upper atmosphere of a gas giant. Massive floating creatures having evolved bodies filled with lighter than air gases. Follow the wind currents and feed off the energy released by the gas giants. Frequent lightning storms. These beings in turn support colonies of smaller animals that prey on atmospheric plankton and each other.
Construction complete.
We've finally finished surveying this system. It now has 36 science, 36 research, 13 energy, and 12 minerals. Wow. I mean, like, absolutely wow. What are we going to do with this science ship? I guess we're going to go and move down here and start surveying stuff. But that is by far one of the best systems that I have ever seen. So we're definitely going to go and grab that and build all of the things. Wow, I'm just totally shocked by that. That's going to be such a good system for us. And we'll probably have to grab this system as well, because pirates will keep spawning here. It's not bad. I mean, it's 8 and 6, and it does have a planet, which is also not terrible. Not great, but not terrible. So that's fine. But yeah, I'm absolutely shocked by the quality of that system. However, I am going to go and end the stream here. I have now been streaming for 3.5 hours. This is the first time I've streamed in absolutely ages. So to be going for 3.5 hours, I'm surprised I've managed to get through it. And it's already almost 1:30 AM. So thank you to all of you guys who have been here watching the stream. I hope you have enjoyed it. I am going to save this game. I'm not going to play this particular campaign off air. So that means I will continue it either on a stream or via videos. I will upload the stream to the YouTube channel. It does take a while because it gets automatically it's sort of rendered, but it does take some time. No problem at all, Kelson. I hope I was able to shed some light on the way the game works a little bit. But I am going to take a bit of a break. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye for now.